Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Umineko Chapter 8. You might be thinking we're in the middle of some grisly murders, but it's actually quiz time! Where you see NJ has been inserted into the weekend of October 4th in Rockinjima, and she's currently at a Halloween party with the rest of her family. And it's quiz time, so we're just doing riddles. Is it related to Rockinjima or the Ishirimiya family or the murders? No. Just quiz time. Let's have some fun. We've just answered a few of them, and one of them was particularly tough. The last one, I kind of missed the S in dessert, or desert as it would be. Anyway, let's dive into this next one. We rushed away. Okay, who should we take on next? Who should we take on next? We're not going to get a choice. But we got a medal. We just barely managed to squeak by. Goda almost got us. Imagine getting got by Goda. Then again, he is the guy who came up with the small bombs. He is small bombs, man. I mean, if he managed to kill all those people in the chapel with small bombs, who knows how, who knows where else he can fit small bombs or trick us with. He's quite a cunning fellow. It seems all of a sudden the tiny girl who used to hide and tremble in Kiryu-sama's shadow has grown to be so bright and cheery. With each passing family conference, one can feel the growth of those youngsters. After a few more years, Enji-sama will surely learn of love, makeup, and she'll eventually grow to become a true lady. Very true, very true. If she grows normally with the passing time, that is. A cruel fate will force the chick called NJ into a lonely future. If an egg isn't warmed, it won't hatch. The egg she is now will not be warmed by anyone, and it will not hatch. Inside that frozen egg, will NJ-sama have no choice but to face an isolated future? Goda can see the future, apparently. Eggshells can always be broken from the inside. Cold shell may be very, very hard, but that doesn't mean it can't be broken. Does NJ-sama even have the strength to do that? Is she capable of achieving that or not? I hear that question is what this final game is all about. We should have sent her a clearer message. No, the riddles are fine. I mean, if the egg can't be warmed, can we at least strike it from the outside to make it easier to crack? The chick without the power to break its own shell is forced outside the egg. Won't be able to withstand the cold winds. NJ-sama will have to find that power and resilience herself. I guess we gotta be confident in NJ's abilities. Am I supposed to be confident? I'm confident she can survive pretty much anything if she wants to. She is quite the little miracle worker after all. But whether or not she wants to is a bit of a different story. Can we not somehow explain that power and resilience to her? What power and resilience? Words mean nothing if they're merely given. They must also be accepted. I see. No matter what we try to give NJ-sama, it will be meaningless unless she accepts it. I'm not sure I agree, but okay. I mean that last bit's probably true.
そうですね。
That last bit's probably true. I'm not sure about the rest. You're right.
私たちが何を伝えても、エンジェ様が耳を貸さなければ意味がない。
No matter what we try to tell her, it won't matter unless she listens. Or sorry, Gota's quiz was easy. I think it was the Kumasawa one, right? That almost got us.
見守るしかないんですよ。
We do nothing but watch over her.
馬を水場に連れて行くことはできても、飲ませることはできないのですから。
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. A classic.
エンジェ様がより良い未来を自ら選択してくれることを
We'll manage, okay?
祈るしかありませんな。
Pray that NJ-sama chooses a better future for herself. Sure!
エンジェ様が諦めと悲しみを紛らわせるためだけの怒りに身を任せず、
If NJ-sama does not abandon herself to anger and for the sole purpose of distracting herself from her resignation and sadness, she's in for an uphill battle if she doesn't do that.
本当にエンジェ様が求めておられるたった一つの願いに純粋であってさえくれれ
If she
ば、
could just be honest about that one single wish she truly desires more than anything
彼
else.
女は絶対に自分の一番の願いを叶えることができるでしょう。
You can be certain that she will make her greatest wish come true. A
皮
great
肉なも
wish.
のです。
Ironic. What's so ironic?
その一番の願いを自ら一番最初に否定されているのですから。
Since the very beginning, she's been denying that greatest wish of hers herself. Ah, that is somewhat ironic. I suppose.
笑う角に福来たる。
Laughter brings happiness.
泣きっ面に蜂。
Tears bring misfortune.
信ずる者は救われる。
Those who believe will be saved.
人の思いが
Interesting
その
message.
強さ
Hello, my friend.
自分の未来を自ら生み出すのです。
People who have the power to create their own futures by strength of people have the power to create their own futures by the strength of their emotions.
せめてその言葉だけでもかけてあげたいものですが。
Just wish we could let her hear those words. Yeah, I'm not sure that's getting through to her without a bit of help.
バトラ様も厳しい。
Butler-sama is very
その
strict.
ような言葉さえも許さず、エンジェ様が自分の力だけで気づいてくれることを願
He's
っ
hoping NJ will realize it by her own power alone and not even permitting the words of this nature to be told to her. I see. Well, good luck, NJ.
私たちには
Butler's got high expectations for
見
you.
守ることしかできないのですね。
Seems we can do nothing but watch over her. So it would seem, Goda. So it would seem.
だからせめて祈りましょう。
Sakura. That's right. And so let us at least pray.
彼女が最も望む未来をその
Pray
手
that
につか
she
めるよう
grasps
に。
the world she desires most with her own hands.
おや、私どもご指名ですか。
Have you selected me? I mean, I didn't exactly make any choices here. But yes, it would seem so.
どうせ全員に挑むもん。ね
I have to face everyone sooner or later.
え、おばさ
Right, on it.
ん。ね
Right.
さあ、私たちに問題を出してちょうだい。
Well, let's have a puzzle.
サクサク解いちゃうんだから。
We'll solve it in a flash. What do you got for us, Dr. Nanjo? Ready for a quiz? What's your riddle?
そうですか、そうですか。
Yeah, I see is not a
で
riddle, my
は、
friend.
とっておきの問題を出さないといけませんな。
Seems I'll have to make a good one. No doubt.
源氏、お
Genji.
前も何か出題してやるがいい。
You gotta give her one as well. That's right, we gotta get her beat everyone at riddles.
とっておきをな。
A tough one.
かしこまりました。それでは
As you wish.
とっておきを。
In that case, a tough one it will be. I have the feeling Genji isn't gonna go easy on us this time. Not that he's given us a quiz before. But at least last time he gave us like the most obvious clue. I'd hope that Genji would give me a simple puzzle, but now he's saying it'll be tough. Genji's got some tough riddles, though Kinzo's was surprisingly easy and the first one, so maybe it's not so bad. It is a bit scary though, I agree. I agree, NJ. I'll beat both of them. I can't let myself get scared. Guess we gotta keep moving forward.
では私から参りましょ
Let's start with mine. Alright, I'm
う。私
listening.
はお医者さんですからな。
I'm a doctor, of course.
救
That
急
was
車の
never in
問
doubt.
題でも出すとしましょ
How about an ambulance puzzle? The heck is an ambulance puzzle? Ready yourself. Ah, straight to it. Okay, when you're in Japan, the word emergency happens to sound the same as the number 9 twice. If you add an emergency to something, you get an ambulance. If something is subtracted from 130, you get a police car. What number goes in the question mark? What? Is this a math question or is this a riddle? The word emergency happens to be says number 9 twice, QQ. And if you add an emergency to if something is subtracted from 130, you get a police car. Nine twice, QQ. QQ. Or 99. If you add an emergency, if you add 99 to something, you'll get an ambulance. If something is subtracted from 130, you get a police car. What's the pronunciation of ambulance in Japanese? I don't know if that's relevant. Japanese pronunciation hasn't been required previously, but I'll... let's see. I assume it's something Shaw. It's QQ Shaw. Yeah, QQ Shaw. I was gonna say, it's probably QQ Shaw, but is that true? Alright. Because Shaw is vehicle, i.e. like Jitensha for bicycle, or Densha for train, or Shaw for, or well, Burma for car, but something Shaw is usually it. Yeah. So if you add an emergency to something, you get a... Are we supposed to be looking at the Japanese pronunciation of any of these? 15, 25, 10, 5, 20 is English, and then it's like, what? Goju, Jugo, or Goju, Jugo, Niju, Nijugo, Nijugo. None of those make sense, right? However, if something is subtracted from it, you get a police car. What is a police car? Police is like Keisatsu, right? What's a police car? Keisatsu Shario? I don't even, let's see. So like, that's like 4? I didn't. You add an emergency 99 to something, you get an ambulance. But what is Sha supposed to be? There must be. Is there like another reading for R that I don't know? Maybe there's another reading for car that I don't know. It's like, maybe we're missing something. It's probably got to be solvable in English. Let's not think about Japanese too much. It just happens to sound the same as number 9 twice. If you add 99, if you add an emergency to something, you get an ambulance. Could it be like QQ go, and then if... So could we be doing like 9995, 9910, 9915, 9920? No, that doesn't work. QQ go. Could it be like a simple pun, like QQ go is like adding emergency to something, you go emergency go is a pun, and then like then it'd be like 10. What in the world? This is a freaking hard quiz. Is it 10? Is it 10? This is like a crazy hard. Is it 10? That doesn't really make sense to me though. Oh, is it 15? No, 15 doesn't work because you can't subtract it. 10 works, you can subtract 1 and zeros from it. That refers to a tiny number. What happens if you get it wrong? Nothing happens. There's no punishment. You think you just don't get extra scenes? Let's see. And we can look up the answers if we really want to. I think some of them are pretty straightforward though. Some of them were pretty straightforward, so I wasn't thinking they'd be too inexplicable. If you add an emergency, if you add 99, okay, what is 99 plus all these numbers? Let's go back to math. I'm tired of thinking of Japanese. Let's go back to math. 99 plus 5, that's 105, right? Or 104? 104 is a meaningless number, right? If you get it wrong, you say if you have to get it right. No, I'm trying to get all these right, okay? 99 plus 5 is 104. Does 104 have any meaning? And does 125 have any meaning? I don't think so. Does 10? That's 109? That has no meaning. 15. 114. What's the emergency line in Europe? Hold up. Isn't there a new number for 911 in Europe? What's the number for 911 in Europe? There's an alternative number, right? Hold up. I'm gonna Google this. Alternatives to 911. By country. I want to know by country. 911 by country. Blah, 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 blah. What is it in Japan and what is it in Italy? Fuck off. I don't want to know the Italian population. I want to know what it is by country. Let's see. Italy is 112. Oh, we're on the right. We might be on the right track. Hold up. Japan. Yeah? 119. There we go. All right. I think it's 20. Japan is 119. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Sorry. I couldn't see. I couldn't see anything because I was looking at it myself. 119 is. I can ask Aunt Ava. Yeah, but I haven't run out of ideas yet. Looking at all the numbers. Oh shit! I forgot how loud that was. All right, so I think D is the answer because it's the only one that's relevant, but with the number 99 that I can think of. Because I think of this pun, right? Like you add, what do you add to the number 99 to get an ambulance, and you say 20 because it's 119 to get the emergency services. That makes sense. What does 110 get? Is 110 then the police number? Hold up. Police number in Japan. Is that 110? It is 110. Ha. Dial 110 emergency call. Known among Japanese as a hotline to contact the police in event of emergency such as a crime or an accident. Yep. There we go. You don't get the hint. You have to ask nicely for me to reveal the hint. I'm gonna take 20. That was actually, like, super hard. That was actually, like, really weird. I had to Google that shit. There was no way I was getting that without help. Because it doesn't work. It doesn't work in, in North America. It doesn't work in North America. I have to guess it. Damn game is making me use Google. My brain? No, Google. And I only got that because it was a 1-1 number. I got it because it was a 1-1 number, but I had to verify if that was the case. It could have easily been 114. As 112 is common. And I'm fortunate that I had to learn that when I traveled to Europe, so lucky me. 20. Yeah, you're supposed to look it up, though I'm sure native Japanese would know it. Yeah, it'd be a little bit easier if you lived in Japan and were used to knowing that number. Yeah, emergency sounds like 99. If you add 20 to it, you get 119. It's an emergency number for ambulances.
130から20を引くと110。
And if you subtract 20 from 130, you get
こっ
110.
ちはパトカーを呼ぶ番号ね。
It's the emergency number for calling the police.
お見事、正解だ。
Splendid, it's correct. See, we knew it was 99, but we didn't know what the right number, what the relevance of the
やは
numbers
りエ
was.
ンジェさんは頭が柔軟ですな。
Because I was tempted to say that it's the inverse of 911 and therefore it's correct, but I was like, I think I can prove that it's correct as all of the quizzes so far have been like provably correct. So I didn't want to guess inverse of 911. I was going to say, let's see if that's actually like the emergency line in Japan. It made more sense to be easier. Some of these quizzes have made more sense to be slightly easier in Japanese. Alright, your quick thing, Renji.
おお、やるではないか、エンジェ。
Well done, NJ. We're a genius.
さすが賢いぞ、我が孫よ。
The wise granddaughter I have. What a wise granddaughter I have.
おめでとう。
Congratulations.
これはあんたのメダルだ。
This medal belongs to you. What was that about the difference between the two being half an emergency? We didn't need that part. If you use that hint, you can make a pretty good guess at the answer even if you forgot what the emergency numbers were. Oh? At any rate, the gold medal glinting in Nanjo's hand is now mine. Okay, now I'll defeat Genji and get another one. Let's go,
そう
Genji.
そう、その息を
Oh, we'll wait till the quiz, because we can save on the quiz screen.
どんどん解いていっちゃいましょう。
Let's solve it more and more. You got one medal.
では源氏さん、どうぞ
Your。turn, Genji.
我が友は黙して語らぬが、こう見えて博識だ。
My friend here doesn't speak much, but his knowledge is quite
どんな
extensive.
問題が飛び出すやら、私も興味深いぞ。
I can't wait to see what sort of puzzle he whips up.
それではエンジェ様、
Now
ご
then,
覚
NJ,
悟を
prepare yourself.
出題させていただきます。
The puzzle starts now. I've never heard anyone say prepare yourself like that when giving a quiz. Like, it started to get so tense, my stomach began hurting.
大丈夫よ。
It'll be
しっ
okay.
かり。
Just hang in there. Eva gripped my hand firmly and my stomach ache got a little better.
エンジェ様は割り算はできますか？
NJ, have you learned division? She is 6. So probably not. She has? I was mistaken.
塾で
I
習っ
keep
た
wanting to save. I learned it in cram school.
すごいわね。まだ6歳なのに。
Amazing, a 6-year-old who knows division?
では問題なさそうです。
Then there should be no problems.
出題させていた
Here
だ
it
きます。
comes. This is bad. I did learn division, but I'm not very good at it. That's the character, not me. I'm sitting here, save's coming, because I'm sweating about whether or not I'm going to win. Alright, we have a lit candle, 5 centimeters in length. Every hour, half that candle's remaining length is burned away. When it's 1 centimeter or less, it will disappear. 3 hours later, the candle's flames disappeared. What was the length of the candle at that time? Okay, so it's just have it repeatedly. So first hour, it's at 5 centimeters. It's gonna go to 2.5. Every hour, half that candle's remaining length is burned away. So half the candle's remaining length burns away to 2.5, which is 25 millimeters. Then it goes to 12.5 millimeters. Or it goes to words. Oh my goodness. It goes to 2.5, and then it's 12.25, and then 6.125, and it's when it's 1 centimeter less. So I'm gonna answer C. That's pretty straightforward. So in 3 hours, basically divide 3 times. Have 50 3 times, getting you 25, 12.5, and 6.125, I think. Something like that. Anyway, it's about 6 millimeters. Japanese schooling system, rich family with high standards. She knows
申し
everything.
訳ございませんが、
Wait, really?
外れでございます。
へえ
Did I do the math wrong? I thought that was a straightforward question. I mean, that's wrong. Look. I'm gonna load this. Okay. Let's go back. What did we do wrong? What was the length of the candle at that time? Is this as the flame disappears? We're letting small NJ down. Is it E10? So, is it E10 because it's burning is a continuous process, so it stops the second it hits 1 centimeter? I think that would also make sense, right? If we said E10, that would be the trick answer, right? That would be the trick answer. It's 10, right? I think I'm gonna go with 10 for my second choice. And the reason is because the candle would go there. Basically, they want you to interpret that it burns as a continuous process and doesn't just have naturally. Cool.
5センチが1時間で 2.5 センチになって
After 1 hour, the 5 centimeters becomes
また
2.5.
1時間で 1.25 センチに
In the
なっ
next
て
hour, it becomes 1.25.
また1時間で 0.625 セ
Yeah,
ン
next
チになっ
becomes
て
6.65 centimeters.
エンジェちゃん、
NJ,
計算は必要ないの
you
よ。
don't need to use math.
問題をよく思い出してみて。
Make sure you remember the problem clearly.
ろうそくは何センチにな
How
った
long
ら
is the
消えちゃ
candle
う
when
ん
it
だっ
burns
け？
out?
はあ、騙されるとこだった。
It was a close one. It wasn't a close one. I answered wrong.
長さが1センチになったら消えちゃうんだから、どう燃えても関係ないんだ。
Candle goes out when it's 1 centimeter long, so the rest don't matter. The flame on this candle dies when the candle is 1 centimeter in length. I got it. I let small NJ down though. I had to save Scum to not let her down. In other words, it can never get shorter than 1 centimeter. So the right answer is the fifth choice, about 10 millimeters. I guess I'll have to spend more time on the question next time
その
and
通
investigate
り。
alternative interpretations. That's what we learned
正
today.
解でございます。
You're correct.
おお、素晴らしいぞ、エンジ。
Splendidly done, NJ.
よく惑わされなかった。
How clever of you not to be misled. And here I am feeling like I was 100% misled.
割り算なんか
He
必要
got
な
me.
い問題だった。
I didn't even need
引っか
division.
かるところだった。
I almost got tricked.
源氏さんも意地が悪いわ。
You are mean there,
割
Genji-san.
り算はできますかなんて聞いておいて。
You even asked her if she could do division. To be fair. They did ask us questions like move 5 kilometers north, 5 kilometers east, 5 kilometers south. Is it possible to end up in the same location? And a few questions like that. You had to know something to know if it was even possible, so... Oh,
あれが引っ掛けだったわけね
it。was a trap, right? A trap we fell for, Genji got us.
はい。
Right.
申し訳ございませんでした。
My humble apologies.
源氏さんはたまに表情一つ変えずに引っ掛けてきますからな。
After all, Genji is the sword who can trick you without changing his expression in the slightest. Damn robot face.
おめでとうございます。エンジ様
Congratulations, NJ-sama. Thanks, Genji. I didn't earlier.
こちらが私の問題を正解したことの証で
Medal is proof you've correctly
Medal
solved my
でございます。
puzzle. I at least solved it with help. I solved it with help. Thanks.
エバーバさん、またメダルが集まった。
Got another medal on table.
いい調子ね。
Nice going.
まだまだ集める。
I'll get lots more. I'll get lots
いっ
more.
ぱい集めて、おじい様に素敵なご褒美をもらう
I'll get a ton, and grandfather will give me a great prize.
うん、
Indeed. A visit from the Shiestra sisters?
張り切るがよいぞ、我が孫よ。
Give it all you've got, my granddaughter.
頑張れ、エンジェさん。
Good luck,
あんたの
NJ.
不運を祈ってるよ。
I'm rooting for you.
他の方もお待ちでしょ
There will be others waiting
う。
for
さ
you.
あ、ぜひ次の方に挑戦を。
Perhaps you ought to seek out the next challenge. Alright.
の。ありがとう。もっともっと頑張るね。
I'll try even harder now. Awesome. We dashed away. There are still many people waiting to give me puzzles, and I have tons of chances to get medals. Alright, who should I challenge next? We don't get a choice. Kind of funny she asks that every time. It's like, but that's the one thing we can't do. After Anje and Ava left, Battler, who'd been watching their progress, came over. Battler's the
エ
one
ンジ
giving
の
us all
調子
the
はどう
quizzes.
かな。
How's NJ doing?
バトラか。
Oh, Battler!
調子はわからぬが、楽しんではおるようだぞ。
I'm not certain, but she seems to be enjoying herself.
源氏さんの問題聞いてたぜ。
I heard your puzzle, Genji.
俺もうっかり騙されちまうところだったぜ。
Even I was almost taken in back there. It looked
恐
too
縮でござ
easy.
います。
You honor me.
しかし意外だぜ。
Not quite what I've expected.
源氏さんがこういうフェイクっぽい問題を出すなんてな。
Who would have thought you'd give a trick question like that? Apparently not me.
もっと素直な。わかりやすい問題を出すとばっかり思ってたぜ。
I figured you'd give a straightforward, simple puzzle. That's what I was thinking too. He got me.
我が友は無口であるからそう思われがちであるが、
You might expect something like that from him, silent as he is,
こや
but
つめ、こう見えてなかなかの策士
he's much more of a schemer than he appears. That's true. Fair enough.
ですな。
Not true. Not
源
true.
氏さんとチェスを戦えば、それがよくわかりますぞ。
If you play a chess match against him, you'll see right away.
私とて時折騙される。
He even fools me from time to time.
この真面目そうな顔でシャーシャーと私を引っ掛けるのだ。
He'll trick me right to my face with that stern, serious expression of his.
昔からそうであるぞ。
He's always been like
な
that.
のに何度騙されても私は引っかか
And
る。
yet, despite the numerous occasions on which he's fooled me in the past, I keep on getting tricked.
うん、そういえばさ、
Come to think of it,
源氏さんとじい様ってどういう縁なんだ？
what sort of relationship do you and Genji-san have? For an instant, Kinzo glanced at Genji's face. Apparently, he didn't plan on touching this subject if Genji had any objections. But Genji spoke as though there was no point hiding it any longer.
私と親方様はかつて台湾にてご縁がありました。
I knew the master once, in Taiwan.
ご縁とはよそよそしい。悪友であるわ。
We were partners in crime, you might
こ
say.
やつも私も金持ちの宝刀息子。
The two of us were both prodigal sons in rich family.
親に迷惑をかけてばかりのろくでなしであったわ。
A pair of ruffians who caused their parents nothing but trouble.
源氏さんが宝刀息子？
Genji, a prodigal son?
そりゃびっくりだぜ。
That's a surprise. And a rich family?
じゃあ、源氏さんもかつて台湾に移住してて、そこでじい様に？
So Genji also moved to Taiwan where he met grandfather?
いえ、
No.
私は台湾の人間でした。
I'm a native of Taiwan.
源氏さんは台湾の出身なのです。
Genji was born in Taiwan? He's Taiwanese? Really? Alright.
いえ、戦前は日本領でしたから、源氏さんももちろん日本人でしたがな。
Well, since Taiwan was under Japanese rule before the war, he's still Japanese, of course.
負けん気の強い男でな。
He's a man who hated
出会
losing.
ったばかりの頃は喧嘩ばかりよ。
When we first met, we fought all the time.
意気投合してからは
Once we hit
宿
it
場
off,
の友と呼ぶにふさわしい最高の友人
became
であ
the
っ
best
た。
of friends.
戦後にいろいろと混乱がありました。
There was a lot of disorder and conflict after the
そ
war.
の混乱の中、私を助けてくださったのが
Master is the
親
one who
方
saved
様
me
なのです。
during that chaotic period.
その時のご恩は生涯かけても返しきれないもの
If I
です。
spent the rest of my life trying to repay that debt, it would not be enough to pay back in full.
それを言うな、我が友よ。
Don't say that, my
私
friend.
がもう少し上手に説得できていれば、お前の家族たちも連れてくることができた。
If only I'd been a bit more persuasive, I might have been able to bring your family back with us as well.
私が不甲斐ないばかりに、お前しか救えなかった。
Because I was so inadequate, I was unable to save anyone but you. I don't know much of the details about Taiwan's history, but apparently there's a lot of chaos there even after the war ended and Japan pulled out. Kinzo, predicting this chaos before it happened, worked out a way for Genji and his family to escape. However, Genji's family possessed great wealth in Taiwan. They were unable to abandon it and decided to remain there. This wealth was built up thanks to their close relationship with the Japanese-run government of Taiwan. The new regime after the war wasn't likely to welcome them with open arms. Much mayhem and confusion followed, and Genji was the only one who escaped harm. I don't know what happened to make this man who Kinzo called a troublesome prodigal son change so drastically to become the person he is today. It was a story of friendship between the two of them. Rip Genji's entire family. And there could hardly be any point in an unrelated person sifting through history books to interpret it however they pleased. They've been good friends since long ago, and they owed each other their lives. Though troubled times tossed them about, their friendship held firm for decades. Genji's role is now that of the butler. But when they're alone in this day, they sometimes find themselves sharing a drink and thinking back on the days of their youth. They're still that way today. Leaving Kinzo and Genji to reminisce, Battler walked off on his own. It would be rude to ask for more details, and he didn't need to know. Kinzo and Genji had been friends since long, long ago. It was something he already knew.
どう？
Well, that sucks. Rip Genji's family. They lost everything. That's why Nox's 5th isn't in the game. It's not it not being in the game. It's a hint towards Genji being a foreigner, though it's not like anyone would guess. Probably because there's Hold up. There is sufficient evidence to point towards Genji being a foreigner. If you're one of the people who was able to conclude that he was... I don't even think you need to specify Taiwan. I think you could guess... So I think a reasonable person could guess that Kinzo knew Genji from wherever he was previously. I think that's reasonable. Wherever he lived during his childhood because he knew him for a long time. You could probably guess. It's been suggested their relationship is really long and longer, and that it's been said that Genji was already there when the mansion was being built. So I think you could probably say that Genji's an agent of Kinzo's and might even be a native of the country of his hometown, if his hometown's in a foreign country, which you might be guessing it is, right? I think that's fair. So if you knew Taiwan, you might guess that he's from Taiwan. That'd be the only way you'd know that he's Taiwanese, though. And he may as well not be from Taiwan, right? He might just be another, He might have just been another rich person who moved there, like Kinzo, right? Or someone he met in Taiwan on business, or somewhere else on business, before he moved to, Rakanjima. But, like, you could guess that. I think that's a fair guess. I was guessing something similar. I was not guessing that he was a native of the area, though. I mean, it was possible, but I wasn't, like, entirely clear. Because it doesn't feel like Genji's a foreigner. Let alone, like, he's from a rich family, but he's serving as a butler? Like, that doesn't even follow that well. You'd have to assume they lost all their money. Like, I would have assumed he's just a friend or something that he met. I would have assumed if he's going to be a foreigner, he's a friend he met in the foreign country and brought back with him as, like, a butler or some shit. Or, like, he hired him in that country and then, you know, filled out his green card to have him come work with him when he moved back to Japan or something. I would have, like... I think that was, like, a reasonable guess. So, yeah, that's fair. I think it's not super relevant, but yeah. I mean, we already kind of knew that, like, Genji seems to be the most loyal to Kinzo of everyone. So I don't think it was super relevant to make him the murderer. Or I don't think it was likely he was the murderer. Or all that important. He was only ever near the top in, like, the first arc for me. Everywhere after that, it's like, is Genji the murderer? Not really. What do you think?
次は夏日おばさんたちに挑戦してみない？
You want to challenge Aunt Natsuhi and Uncle Kraus next? Yeah, I'll take on Kraus next.
うん。やっつける。
Let's beat him.
胸を貸そうじゃないか。
Very well, we'll play along.
私たちも手応えのある問題を用意しておきました。
The two of us prepared some formidable puzzles for you.
私から出すかね。
Should I go first?
それとも君か
Or
ら。
you?
では私から。
I'll start.
うん。
Very well. Please Krause's be an investment joke where he loses all his money.
今から言うのをよく聞いてください。
Listen closely to what I'm about to say.
白黒白黒白はてな黒白黒白黒白。
White, black, white, black, white. Something unknown. Black, white, black, white, black, white. Okay. What's next?
白黒白黒。え？
もう一度言いますよ。
I'll say it again.
白黒白黒白はてな黒白黒白黒白
Hatena? It's like Hatena, but I don't know what that means. And I'm not sure I have to know what it is.
このはてなには何が入るでしょう？
What does the question mark stand for? The crossing of black and white? It's a really hard one. Yeah, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, question mark, black. White, black, white, black, white, black, white. It looks like the white and black are alternating, but the question mark is between a white and a black. Is it gray? Is it that easy? That seems too easy.
夏日姉さんにしてはずいぶん難しいじゃないの。
It's a surprisingly hard one coming from you, Natsuhine-san. It was groaning. Apparently it's tough.
そんなに難しいでしょうか？
Is it really so hard?
経験のない人には分からん可能性もあるな。
There's a chance some people won't understand if they haven't had the right experiences.
エヴァさんはともかく、エンジェちゃんなら学校や幼稚園で結構見ていた
Ava's
か
side,
も。
I think NJ would have seen it a lot at school and kindergarten.
何よ、私には絶対わからないっていう
I
の
don't have a clue. It's a problem I can get easier than on Ava. It's hard. I would say black, based on both the image and the text. And the reason I say that is because we're balanced. The left side has 5 items, and the right side has 6 items. Furthermore, there are 3 whites and 3 blacks on the right side, and there are only 2 blacks and 3 whites on the left side. Black makes sense. Empty space is less important. I think that works. Red is an unknown color. Red and gray have not been introduced as elements. Therefore, I don't think they exist. And it's clearly not an empty space. Also, I have no argument for it being white. So no argument in favor of white. Red and gray don't make sense because we haven't introduced new colors at any point other than black and white. So I'm going with black, which is B. And I'm going to save to make sure I get this. Make sure in the event I screw up. I'm fairly certain, but last time I was certain and I was wrong, so. And we're not going to take gray because NJ suggested that. And that means that was her first thought. So even if you thought it was gray, I'm leaning against it. B for black.
わかんない。
I don't get it.
私もだわ。
I give it
こう夏日姉さんのくせにずいぶん難しい問題を知ってるじゃ
I'm
ない
giving you know some pretty hard puzzles, Natsuhine-san. What? I clicked B though.
育ちが出る問題だからね。
It's the sort of puzzle that brings out one's upbringing.
お前には難しかったかもし
Perhaps it
れ
was
ん
too。hard for you? Oof.
なんですって？
夏日おばさん、
Oh, Natsuhi?
答えを教えて。
Can you tell me the answer? Wait, we're wrong?
答えは鍵盤ですよ。
It's white. It's white. The answer is a keyboard. It's white.
鍵盤
By the way, that works in English too. Oh, it's correct. That's correct. There are two. For a keyboard, if you don't know, there's two black keys. A keyboard is basically a repeating pattern with two whites here.
この白黒白黒ね鍵盤だ
That's a repeating pattern of a keyboard. Everything else is just octaves of that, I believe. Huh. The argument for black was based on the pattern presented, not on an unrelated topic. That was a good quiz, though. The answer follows. But I don't play piano, so that's pretty hard.
ピアノと同じ
Sounds like a piano.
そういうこと。
Knowing what a piano looks like and the fact that it's a repeating pattern works though. If you didn't know that pianos are repeating patterns that are in exactly that shape, it'd be even harder. I did know that. And upon being told that it's a keyboard, it instantly clicks for me. But yeah, that is accurate. You can go look up a picture of a piano if you want to. She could have done fucking guitar frets at this point. She probably could have. I would have almost. Well, maybe we'll have a notes question soon enough.
これ、鍵盤なのね。
Maybe we'll have another music theory one. That was an alright quiz. Oh, we got wrong. Man, we're getting these wrong. A little bit to it. That's it? It's a keyboard? Yep. Something that can be found in kindergartens and schools, which is covered with a line of white and black things. The fuck kind of school did you go that had a keyboard in it? Or any musical instrument for that matter that wasn't a recorder. Pianos are fucking expensive shit. They don't give those to kids. Holy shit. Maybe your high school. Maybe your high school. I think when I was growing up, I knew someone who lived like 3 hours away who had a piano. They lived 2.5 hours away. These rich ass kids. It's like, ah, yes, in my kindergarten, everyone has a piano, and I'm like, the fuck are you smoking? Like I know for a fact there's a piano in my high school. I never saw it. Or wait, I might have seen it once when I saw a play because a friend was in it. That was when I was in high school, and I'm pretty sure that was grade 12, though. I never saw a actual physical piano until then, or at least in school until then. Shit, man. Casual grand piano is a gift for a 6-year-old. It's not even their only gift. Of course, these rich people. That said, I don't think it's an unreasonable. I don't think the riddle for us is unreasonable. Like, you know, for us viewing this. For us viewing this, it's not an unreasonable quiz. It only makes sense if you took piano lessons as a kid. Yeah, as a 6-year-old, I'd be like, if this was a real 6-year-old, I'd be like, fuck, that 6-year-old's screwed. It's an instrument. Like a piano, like a keyboard on a piano or a melodica. Yes, we know. Okay, I like how they're explaining that a piano is an instrument, but they expect you to know. They're explaining like that a piano is an instrument, but they expect you to know what the piano keys look like. Like it's like, a piano is an instrument covered in lines of white and black things like a key. It's an instrument, and you're like, yes, that would be required to know what the answer is. Like, people who know already know and don't need this explanation, and people who don't know probably know what a piano is anyway.
2つの黒い
That's like knowing what a
鍵盤は
guitar is.
ドレミの間。
The first two black keys are between do and re. Yep.
3つの黒い
Do, re,
鍵
and mi.
盤はファソラシの間だから。
And the set of three black keys are between fa, so, la, and ti. Yeah, okay.
白黒白黒白はてな黒だから白が3つでドレミ。
It started with white, black, something black. So the three white ones are do and re and mi.
ミとファの間に黒い鍵盤はないわ。
And there's no black key between mi and fa. Yep.
ミの次はすぐファになる。
So fa comes right after
つま
mi.
りミの次がハテナだから正解は
And since the question mark comes after mi, the right answer is
つま
fa.
りつまり
In other words,
正解は白。
yeah, right answer is white.
正解です。
No, you don't need to know any of those notes. I think they were just like throwing out some casual knowledge for you. That knowing the notes was irrelevant. Only the structure of the piano.
ちょっと難しすぎたかと思いましたが、さすがですね。
You thought it might have been a little bit too hard, but you did well. I feel like if I clicked the hint there, I would have gotten it. I only needed like one hint. If I had like any subtle hint in the right direction, I probably would have gotten it. Yeah, like if you'd said like it's a physical object, I would have like immediately got that. But that probably would have been too obvious. I don't think they would have given that as a hint.
やるじゃないかね、二人とも。
Splendidly done, you two. Go ahead, Nazi.
おめでとう、エンジェちゃん。
Congratulations, NJ-chan.
これが私からのメダル
Here's
です。
my medal for you. If this wasn't required to see extra scenes, I would just eat the L, because it's so awkward getting these rewards for when you didn't win.
エバーマさんまた一つ集まったよ。
Oh damn, I got another one!
順調ね。
Things are moving along nicely. I feel like I
次は
haven't
兄
earned
さんが
this.
出す番よ。
Next up is
あっさ
Nii-san's
りと言
puzzle.
ってケチョンケチョンにしてあげるわ。
Let's solve it in a flash and teach him a lesson, okay? Now that one I don't think I could have got if I looked a bit further.
うむうむこの正直者め。
A party of one?
上
Let's
等
go,
じゃ
my
ないかね。
How interesting. Nice to see you, my dude. How's it going? You ready for some quizzes?
返り討ちにして差し上げようじゃないか。
Looks like it's time you were taught a lesson.
やめてエバーマさん挑発しないで。
Stop it, Annie. Don't make him mad.
問題が難しくなっちゃう。
You'll make the puzzle harder. No, he has to come up with these. He can't just make them harder.
恨むならエヴァを恨むんだな。
If there's anyone you have to blame, it's
さ
Ava.
あ、食らいたまえ。難問だ。
Take this brain twister.
これは私が投資に関わったビルのテナントをめぐる問題だ。
I said it was investment. Here's a puzzle about the tenants of a skyscraper I've invested in. Okay, I'm ready. Once upon a time, there was a 7-story skyscraper. The following companies were located on the following floors. Okamura Securities was located on the 7th floor. Uamura Reality Co. Limited was located on the 6th floor. Tamura Transport Co. was located on the 5th floor. Now then, Murakoshi was located on the something floor. Interesting. I want to say 4, but I feel like 4 is too obvious. Is this my first read? Absolutely. After all, I wouldn't be struggling through these puzzles if this is my second read. Holy crap. Some of these are pretty obvious. Okay, so... I want to say 4, but that seems too obvious. There's a trick here. There's got to be a trick here. Does it have to do with the ending? There has to be a trick here. Murakoshi and going on 4 makes sense, but it could be 3. Floor 1's reception, logically. So I'm guessing it has to do with the fact that it's Murakoshi instead of Koshimura. So there's something going on there, right? There's some trick with the names here. Like I think there's a trick with the names that's playing something. If I can find the association between, like, what's the association between Ta and 5? What's the association between Iwa and 6? And Oka and 7? That should tell us what Koshi is. Is it possible those are other readings of Is it possible that we somehow get like a 5 out of Iwa in some cases? Or there's a character like, is there a way to get something out of 5? Iwa, so like Iwa Mura, let's see. It's the 6th? What does Iwamura look like? You think 4? I mean, 4 seems like the most straightforward approach, but I'm just trying to figure out like what the trick is, because I've been tricked on the last few, and I can't just accept 4, because it seems like it's the obvious one. It's the one where we like all click it and we're like, oh yeah, we were fucking idiots 5 minutes later. Like, it's the one where you click it and you're just like, oh, I was a fucking idiot. Is Tamaro's 5, right? Seven? What is Murakoshi? I don't like that. Is it 3? Is it 3? Right, that's the hint. Never heard of first, second, or third? Oh, that's true. That's the hint. You're saying it's 4th because it's the TH? I guess that works too. I'm looking for another level, and I just like, I feel like I'm just gonna get got if I pick that. I mean, I've never heard of 3 TH, 2 TH, 1 TH, but there's gotta be like a good trick there. That's so straightforward. That like there's the pattern 7th, 6th, 5th, and then there's another TH. Like everything points to 4. I'm waiting to be got. There's no way it's like, I'm gonna click 4th, but in my head I'm thinking like, is it 3rd? It might be 3 TH. Like I mean 3 TH. I mean it's using TH as a representative, and then it like realizes it and changes something else. I feel like it's a bait. I want to say 3. I'm gonna click 4 just to see what 4 is. But if it's not 4, I'm guessing 3. Because 4 is like everything points to 4. But if it's not 4, it's 3.
3階
The 4th floor.
お見事、正解よ。
Seriously? Seriously? How is it the 4th? That's so easy. What the hell? Kraus? I thought Kraus would actually give us a hard question. What? I literally spent a minute thinking of how it could be anything else other than 4 because it was so easy.
1階から11階の間にガイと読めるフロアは3階だけだわ。
From floor 1 to 4, there's only one floor that ends in TH, the 4th floor. He also used 7th, 6th, 5th. The next in the pattern is 4th. Like, there's 2 major clues pointing to it, and they're like giant fucking lasers. X minus 1 is 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. Like, the pattern follows. You're supposed to, like, break the pattern by doing, like... You're supposed to break the pattern. I think you're supposed to break the pattern by doing something like... The X... Like, the... Like saying, the 7th, 6th, and 5th floors are taken by this. The something floor of the basement is taken by this, and then you give them that, and they're like, how am I supposed to know what floors basements are? Like, give them like a curveball like that rather than being really straightforward. So here's an amendment to this quiz. I know it's a little bit harder, but you say, okay, these guys are on the 7th floor, these guys are on the 6th floor, these guys are on the 5th floor. These guys are in one of the sub-basements. These guys are on the Xth floor of the sub-basement. Which floor is it? And the answers given are like 7, 2, they're like 7, 2, 1, 3. And you're like, 7? What is 7? Like, 7th floor is already taken. And then they're thinking 7's the wrong number. And they're thinking like maybe the 1st floor of the basement. Like, there's no way there's 7 floors of the basement or something like that. Like, you do something like that where you want the person to think that it's not possible that the answer is right initially until they realize that the TH is right. But in this case, it was so straightforward, it was actually like harder to think of the right answer because I'm thinking maybe it's 3. Like, I could maybe come up with like some bullshit. I'm like, what? Like, I was thinking like, what are they doing with these words? Because they reversed the word order for the 4th one. So I was like, are they doing some weird thing where they want you to like, where they want you to take like really generic words and guess like stroke counts or something like that? And like doing some obscure shit. That was way too easy. Like, I was sitting there thinking like, can I do some really weird stuff like take like a kanji that means the unique part of each word and get like an X number of strokes out of it? Or like if I take something like I was sitting there on a higher level thinking there's got to be some game to this that I'm not getting. I can't believe that's correct though. Oh my goodness. Okay. Everyone who thought it was simple and 4th, you got it. You might have lost out on the keyboard puzzle. We might have lost out on the other puzzle. What was the one after the keyboard puzzle? Whatever that one was. But you win on this one. The 4th floor fits. The other ones are 1st, 2nd, and 3rd floors. Nicely done. Even I didn't figure that out until I had the answer given to me. I probably should have listened to what he was saying in Japanese. I'm curious what the question was in Japanese. Is it still 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th? Apparently Kraus once had this puzzle shown to him and he was unable to answer it right. He looked a bit downcast to see a kid like me solve it. For some reason, he looked even more mortified to see Ava had solved it. How strange. Go on now. Let's see that medal. This medal is a mark of NJ-chan's intelligence. I mustn't let you have it, Ava. Sore loser. Thanks, Kraus. Incredible. Very much so. Yeah, I was doing everything in my power to convince myself that was not a 4. You're a more flexible thinker than your uncle. Proud to have you as a niece. Battler just sitting here putting words in people's mouths, left, right, and center. Yay. And that's all for our puzzles. But you don't have 2 for me? Come on, Natsuhi. Give me another one. Yeah, they were pretty good.
ありがとう、夏日おばさん、クラウスおじさん。
Thanks, Aunt Natsuhi and Uncle Kraus.
メダルの枚数など気にせず、みんなの鬼門難問をたっぷり楽しんでほしい。
I hope you can enjoy all the tricky questions without worrying about your medal count too much. I'm afraid it's far too late for that.
今夜があなただけの素敵な夜になることを願っていますよ。
We all hope this becomes a wonderful night just for you.
楽しんでるわよね、私たち。
Oh, that's annoying. My mouse cable's caught on something. I'm gonna have to like unplug it to fix that. I'm not gonna do that now. We're enjoying ourselves. I think it's my Nintendo Switch's power cable. To be specific.
私たちすっごい楽しい。
We're having tons of fun. Kraus and Natsuhi smiled at them as they dashed away. I guess I could unplug the Switch power. Move it
おお、
over there.
夏日か。
Oh well. It's you,
どうだ
Natsuhi.
ったお前たちの問
How'd
題
your
は。
puzzles go?
私たちなりにえりすぐりを出題したつも
We
り
did
で
the
す。
best we could.
楽しんでもらえたかどうか。
I'm not sure how much they enjoyed them. On the other side of the room, NJ and Ava were counting the medals they'd gathered so far. NJ and Ava. It was such an unexpected pairing, they looked like they were having a great
血の
time.
つながらぬ未来の親子か。
A future parent and child, unrelated
こ
by
うして
blood.
見ている分には本当の親子そのものにしか見えぬ。
Watching them like this, they look like a normal parent and
え
child.
え、
It,
絆は心で育むものです。
bonds between people are nurtured by the heart. And apparently battlers meddling.
血のつながりなどそれに劣るものです。
Eyes of blood do not bond as strongly. After saying this, Natsuhi bit back her own words and stared at the floor.
どうした？
What's wrong?
私によくもそのようなことが言えたものだと。
I was just surprised I would dare to say such words. It's kind of true. It's also a classic saying. Unrelated by blood, Ava's literally her aunt. I mean, they are related by blood, right? That's the funny bit. It's like she's saying that, and I'm like, that's like a pretty classic saying, right? It's like you can put that shit straight from the Bible, so it's not really like a strange phrase to say. Although people misuse it all the time to just say like blood is thicker than water, which is ironic because that's an incomplete quote, and the blood of the covenant's thicker than the water of the womb is the correct quote. Look at me with pointless trivia from having read everyone's favorite book. I bet the translator didn't find anything else to put there. True.
気にするな。
You don't need to
わ
worry
ら
about
わ
me.
のことは。
私があなたを拒絶してしまったから。
I rejected you. You
あ
made
な
a
たはいく
painful
つも
thing
の世界で
in
辛
so
い目
many
に
worlds.
それはすべて
It's all my
私の責任
responsibility.
です。
そなたの気持ちもわかる。
Oh, she's talking. Beatrice's talk. Nazi's talking to Beatrice, knowing who Beatrice is. I see.
身
I
ごも
understand
れ
what you
ず
felt.
何年も肩身の狭い思いをしてきたのだ。
Unable to become pregnant, you were forced to feel shame for
そ
many
こに
years.
突然素性の知れぬ赤ん坊を渡され養子にしろと言われたら
In that situation,
シ
any
ョッ
woman
クを
would be
受けぬ
shocked
女などおらぬ。
if they were handed a baby whose parentage they didn't know and told to adopt them. Kinzo is bad with people. We know this.
だか
How
ら
is
といっ
this
て
guy charismatic? I'm still struggling to understand how this guy's like supposed to be charismatic and convince anyone of anything when he's like, when he does shit like walks up to Natsuhi and just gives her a baby and is like, this is the new successor, fuck you. Like, that's not exactly the kind of charisma you'd expect from someone who's supposed to be like legendary charisma, legendary businessman. Builds up a business empire from nothing.
あなたを崖より突き落としても良いという
There's
理
no
由
reason
に
for
は
me
な
to
りま
push
す。
you off a cliff, Ripperoni, Beato.
そうであるな。
True,
それ
true.
は そなたが生涯背負うべき十字架であろう。
You'll have to carry that cross for the rest of your life?
はい、
Yes. Let's
その
see.
覚悟です。
We just did another Bible reference. They're all over the place in this story.
ならばそなたを苛む役はその十字架だ。
In that case, the suffering you must endure will come from the cross you bear. Look at
わらわではない。
not from me.
私を恨まないという
Don't
のですか？
despise me.
そうしょげた顔をするなって。
You'll make that
いやいや
dejected
む
face.
しろ逆だな。
Perhaps it's the other way around.
お前がそのしょげた顔を見せる限りわらわはそなたを咎めようとは思わぬ。
As long as you keep making that dejected face, I feel no desire to punish you. She's like, you look so miserable, I don't need to punish you anymore.
そなたがその十字架を背負い続ける限り
As long as you continue to carry that cross. Okay, now that metaphor's
わ
getting
らわ
old.
はそなたを恨もうとは思わぬ。
I'll feel no desire to hate you.
この私を
I mean, you don't hate me?
恨まないというの？
本当は恨んでたぜ。
To tell you the truth, I did hate you.
超恨んでた。
I hated your guts. Turns out, people who get thrown off cliffs don't appreciate it when you do that, especially when they're a literal baby.
お前の抱き枕吊るしてサンドバッグにするくらい恨んださ。
I hated you so much I wanted to hang up a pillar with your picture on it and use it as a punching bag. That seems fair.
でもお前を見ているうちにその気もなくなった。
As I watched you, that feeling faded away.
お前は悔やみ後悔している。
You regretted and lamented. Now she felt bad about killing
そし
someone.
てその気持ちをきっと
I'm sure you'll never
お前は
forget that
生
feeling
涯
as long as you
忘れない。
live. Ah, yes. She felt bad about murder, therefore let's not send her to jail. She apologized. I'm sorry I killed your whole family. Anyway, will you let me stay out of jail? Right. Alright. How could I
忘
forget?
れるものですか？私は
Girl,
人殺しなのです
I'm
か
a
ら。
murderer.
重い十字架背負っちまったな。
Your cross is a heavy one, doubtless.
今じゃあんたに同情してる。
I can feel compassion for you now.
本当だぜ。
I'm serious.
だって全部金蔵が悪いんじゃねえか。
After all, Kinzo's the one at fault, right?
あいつが隠し子なんか作るから悪いんだし。
It's his fault for having an illegitimate child in the first
何
place.
しろお前への預け方が特に悪い。
The way he forced that child on you was even worse. I guess he's just a cunning investor. But how did he convince anyone of anything when he's clearly like some scummy asshole? Like he's claiming that he's like friends with all these rich people, and I'm like, dude, this guy's an asshole. No one would be friends with this guy unless he was loaded. like, would
子
you?
供が生まれないから養子にしろなんてのじゃなく、
He should have at least been able to avoid hurting you by
かわ
saying,
いそうな子だから育ててくれぬかとか、そなたを傷つけの言い方はあったはずだ。
please take care of this poor child, instead of, you can't give birth, adopt this kid. Right? There's better ways to go about doing
こ
that.
れだから男は、
Man,
金
that
蔵は
Kinzo. Kinzo. I like how she says Kinzo like it's a curse. That worked out well.
もはや恨みはない。
I no longer hate
そ
you.
れでも、そなたの十字架は軽くはならぬか。
Does that make your heart feel any lighter? I'm gonna start using new metaphors because this metaphor's getting old.
あなたにどうすれば償えるか。
I don't know how I can make
未
it up
だ
for
に
you.
わからないのですから。
Make up for what I did to you.
じゃあこうしよ
Let's do it this
う。
way.
両腕を広げよ。
Time to hold out your arms.
え？
Huh?
こ
Like this?
こうですか？
As Natsuhi spread her arms uncertainly, Beata leapt forward and hugged her tight.
あの、
This is a little...
二度と言わねえから一度くらい言わせろ
I'll
よ。
never say it again, so let me say
わ
this
らわ
once.
はよ、自分の母親に会ったことさえねえんだか
After all,
ら。
I never had a chance to meet my mother. Oh, okay. Still hugging Natsuhi, Beato spoke in a whisper. She spoke the words that she certainly would never say again.
わらわのことで悔やんでくれてありがとよ。
Thanks for worrying so much for my sake.
でもよ、わらわはも
But I
う恨
really,
んでねえから
I
な。
really don't hate you anymore.
それだけは信じて
Please
くれよ、
believe that,
母さん。
Mother. Beatrice. Someone else sang Beatrice sadly. Very nice, very nice. You thought we were done with just Kinzo wailing Beatrice and Battler. Now we have Natsuhi. Oh, I can't forget Ava. Ava suffering.
今度は誰に問題を出してもらおう
I'm
かしら
so glad I
ね。
kept. I'm so glad I kept the version of that had the dramatic music in the background. That clip, the Beatrice clip, would not be half as good if it did not also play dramatic music. Who should we get a puzzle from next? I have no clue, Ava.
あの二人はどう？
What about those two? Which two?
シャノンちゃんとカノンくん？
Shannon and Kanon-kun? Sure.
いいわね。相手にとって不足はなさそう。
Looks like they'll put up a good
お
fight.
呼びですか？エヴァ様、エン
You
ジ
need
様。
something? Ava-sama? Enji-sama?
姉さんはバカだな。
Don't be stupid, Nei-san.
問題を出せって言ってるんだよ。
They're here to ask us for puzzles.
失礼しました。
My apologies. Please forgive my rudeness. Ashita? Alright. Cannon was absent-minded as ever. However, Cannon looked extremely calm and would probably have a well-polished puzzle ready. At least one of them has one. Cannon's sighing.
僕から先に出すよ。
I'll go first. Looks like you don't got this one.
姉さんはその間に考えて。
Use that time to think up a puzzle, Nei-san. Oof.
ごめんね。
Sorry.
じゃあ、姉さんが問題を
Okay, she's
思い
gotta
つく時
think
間
up
が
twice as
稼げる程度に
twice as
悩ん
many
でもらえる
puzzles
問
as the
題じゃ
rest
ない
of
か
us.
な。
So if I'm buying time for Nei-san to think up a puzzle, yep. You'll have to make it one tricky enough to keep you stumped for a while. No, you don't need to do that. You're too kind. You're too kind.
言うじゃない。
You got guts, kid.
おいでなさい。
Let's have it then, shall we?
カノンくんの思い切り難しい問題。
Show us the hardest
挑
you've got.
発しないで。
Don't provoke him. Listen here, NJ. Most of the time, they're only coming up with one. Most of the time, they're only coming up with one. So even if you provoke them, they aren't going to change it. They'll just maybe deliver it in a harder way.
簡単なのがいい？
I want an easy one. Well, you're not getting one.
エヴァ様のご許可がいただけたので、理不尽に難しい問題を失礼させていただきます。
Now that I have Ava-san's Sama's permission, allow me to present an insanely difficult puzzle. He says that, but I'm thinking it's going to be easy simply because the last one that was presented as hard was way too easy. But the difficulty is kind of yo-yoing, so we'll see.
ここは任せて。
Leave this to me.
おばさんが解いてあげるわ。
I'll solve it. That's confidence, Ava. Alright, the Scholarly King once decided to give out prizes to the learned people of his land. The one who won the copper prize got 29 coins. The one who won the silver prize got 49. The one who won the gold prize got 79. Ah. Two and 9. Let's see. How does this relate? Presumably it's an escalating number, because platinum is higher. So we'll make an assumption that it's one of the two higher values. Now the explanation is which ones and why. I'm leaning towards 112 because there's no 9 in it. That's my first thought here, is lack of a 9 is an indicator. Or the lack of the 9 is an indicator that means something. I'm not entirely sure if that's true, but that's my first thought, is that means something. Because 91 is tempting, but if you look, it's like... Ooh, on the other hand... No, it doesn't work. 2-9 does not include any 9. 4-7 includes a 4 and a 7. The next one's a 7. And a 9. So what are the numbers doing otherwise? It could be 7979. In which case, 57 might be okay, but that doesn't make sense. 78 doesn't make sense. What if it's B? 57? I don't think it's B because B is... the platinum is generally a better reward than it. So 57 gets knocked off because it's a worse reward. Basically, the argument is you would expect D and E to be... Basically, because it's escalating in value, D and E are the most likely. And then of those two, you have to pick one, and I think 112 is a better answer because it doesn't include a 9. That's my current thought. I think I'm going to bet that one. Though I should probably save to make sure in the event I fuck up. What else could it be? Like, what's the other answer? That's the most straightforward answer, and it meets it on 2 criteria. The inherent escalation. Can it be any of the other numbers? It can be 57, it can be 78, and it can be 30. Why would it be any of those other numbers? Yeah, I eliminate them because they're low. Is there... Is there a way for it to be lower? Why would it be lower? It's unintuitive. Like, what would the justification be for it being lower? I'm just trying to think. It seems so straightforward to pick 112 again. What is the justification for any of the numbers? Is there another pattern here? Maybe we should look at second differences. Or sums of digits. Let's see, 11. 7, 11. 5. The first two sum to 11. What is the difference between these numbers? I'm just gonna go 47 minus 29 is 18. 79 minus 47 is 32. Yeah, 11, 11, 16 are the digits. The difference isn't the same. The difference is 9 though. It would be 1 if we got that. That wouldn't work. 79 minus 47. Difference is 5. 9, 5. Is 9 and 5 for a second different for a sum of the digits of the first difference enough to generate a pattern? One and 9 plus what is the actual second difference? 1 and 9 plus words 5 and 1. 5 and 9 leads to 1. Meaning 78 could be a weird choice. If I had to pick a low number, 57 doesn't follow that pattern, it would be 12. And 78, or 79 minus, or 57 minus 79 would be like 22, which would be 4. That doesn't follow. Is there maybe a meaning? Are these prime numbers? Are these prime numbers? Let's see. 29? 2 by 3 by 4 by 5. Should be pretty close to prime. 29's prime, I think. What about 47? 7, 5, 3, 4, and 2 covered. It'd have to be a larger number than 7 that these work on. It'd have to be an unusual number that 47 works on. 79 is, I'm just doing checks for the first numbers. 2. What's like 30, 60, 90 minus 12. 90 minus 9 is 81. Can't be 3s. 4s won't work. It's an odd number. 5s doesn't work. 6s obviously doesn't work. 7s. 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 11 is 77. That doesn't work. I guess, why did I check 4? 4 would be the same for 2s. 11 probably doesn't work for any of these because that's really obvious. So are we picking prime number? Are we picking next prime number? That's a thought. If they're all prime numbers, we'd be picking next prime number. 30's not prime. 57 is not prime. 91. 84 plus 7 for 7's on 91? Yeah, so 13 times 7. The answers are not prime numbers. 78's not prime, 30's not prime, 112's obviously not prime, they're all even. 91's prime though. 91's not prime and 57's not prime. What about a more straightforward approach? 9 minus 2 is 7. 7 minus 4 is 3. 9 minus 7 is 2. Does that work? We're playing games with the numbers to try and get an alternative response. Oh, I'm gonna type this out. So, let's see. 29 equals, because the second number is always bigger than the first one, okay? So, 9 minus 2 equals 7. 47 equals like 7 minus 4, which equals 3, and 79 is 9 minus 7 equals 2. Therefore, if we picked a number with bigger second number, we'd have another one that's 2, another one that's 1, and then 112. That would give you 78 as the next answer. As the differences go, 7, 7, 3, 2. The differences are 7, 3, 2. Therefore, you'd need a difference of 1. 2 plus... I guess the numbers... They could correspond to the periodic table? The periodic table. What about 2 plus 9? 2 plus 9 is 11. If we just take the numbers, 7... No, we got 11, 11 again. Which we've already done. So there's a chance it's 78 off of that number. I don't know... It's 78 or 112, I think. That's the limits of my reasoning. You think they respond to the periodic table? Why are we checking the periodic table for a game that isn't supposed to be on the issues? No clue, man. These quizzes are completely unrelated to the game. I think 78 is a possibility because of the high number, low number theory. The first and second differences weren't significant enough to give you any hint. We're grasping at straws? Yeah, basically. What does the periodic table look like? Because you're suggesting 78 somehow. I'm just looking at the periodic table right now. Okay, I'm assuming he's looking up copper on the periodic table. 1 second. What is copper on the periodic table? Oh my god, it's been so long, I don't even remember where copper is. My god. Okay, there's iron. We're looking for silver and gold, right? Copper. Copper is, what, 63.546? Oh, it's 29. Does that mean silver is 47? Oh, that is a interesting reference. Copper is 29, silver is 47, gold is 79, which means platinum is 78 by that rationale. Ooh, that's a second connection. I'm gonna take that. That also gives us a reason for why those other numbers were scored. That's a winner. So I think my reasoning of counting down the big number to the lower number and using the difference between those kind of works. But it does not explain why those numbers are those numbers, which might just be arbitrary. The fact that C also gives us an explanation for the periodic table, which... How on earth did you look that up? How on earth did you come to the conclusion you're like, I should look up the periodic table? I have no clue how you did that, but... If we're right, yeah, I'm gonna take the... If we're right, it's probably the periodic table and not the difference between the digits of the numbers. Alright, I saved. I'm clicking C. This is a bit of a gamble. We're expecting a hard one because the last one was so easy. Correct. Oh shit. So what's their explanation for this? They usually explain this. So, is it the element... They're lined up on the periodic table? Copper, silver, and gold are above each other. Platinum is not directly above it because there's... It's in the metallic areas, right? It's in the metals in the center. So wouldn't that be radioactive materials? So it's going top to bottom. Awesome on Ava. What?
どうして78枚なの？
Why is it 78 coins? Good question. I went second difference to first
金
one.
賞より上なのに、どうして賞金
How
は金
did
賞
you
よ
check
り
the
少ないの？
Internet goes burr, obviously. When he said check the periodic table, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll go Google that. That took 2 seconds. So why is it 78 coins? If platinum's better than gold, why does gold get more coins? It is unintuitive.
この賞金の枚数はね、それぞれの賞の原子番号なのよ。
The number of coins you get is always the same as the atomic number of the prize. I assume they looked because they're all pure materials and we're grasping for ideas that would correlate to those. Like any connection works. So it's possible maybe he just remembered the atomic weight of one of the materials and was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. 29. That sounds familiar. Hold up. The number of coins you get is always the same as the atomic number of the prize.
銅は29番、
So
銀
it
は
is atomic.
47番、
Okay.
金は79番。
Copper's 29, silver's 47, gold is 79. How the fuck does Ava know all these? Imagine being Ava and being like, ah, yes, I, the wealthy businesswoman. Pfft, doesn't everyone know that silver is atomic number 47? Oh, you didn't know that? Weak.
ちなみにプラチナは
platinum's
78
8.
番ね。
Although, just for this specific set of numbers, my theory of the numbers being the difference between the second digit and the first digit actually does work. I guess the Japanese know all their atomic values. He must have been an A+ student in chemistry.
だからプラチナ賞の賞金は金
Platinum
が
prize gets you
78枚。
78 gold coins. Alright. I'm so glad there was actually a second route to solving that, though. If you didn't look up the periodic table, you could have technically solved this a different way, which is kind of nice. Because a lot of puzzles don't have another way to solve them. This one actually did. It just took me a minute. It follows. Ava, you're incredible.
すごい！
Like, there was a second justification for that. Dad once told me Aunt Ava was an enthusiastic study, and it really smart, even when she was back in school. Even George Oni-chan, her son, is smart, so Aunt Ava must be really incredible.
それにしてもひどい問題ね。
Yeah, that was a pretty nasty riddle.
せめ
She
てエンジェちゃんにわかる問題にしなさいよ。
should have at least given one that NJ could understand.
エヴァ様より思い切り難しい問題を出すようにとのご許可を
Gave me permission to show her the hardest one I've got.
そうだね。
That's
エヴァお
right.
ばさん、自分でそう言った。
You said it yourself.
だからエンジェのわかんない問題になった。
That's why we got a puzzle that was too hard for me.
くくくく。
I managed to get to the answer. I managed to get to multiple answers. But why?
私のせいかしら。
You were given that question verbally. I don't think you could have come to 112, though, is the thing. I don't think you would have come to 112 if you were given the answer verbally. I think it's possible if you were given this problem. I think if you were given this problem verbally, you would have had to come up with the 78, the atomic number. That is one thing to put in. Verbally, it doesn't work, as you could have come up with any number of numbers. You could have come up with like 98. You could have come up with 98 or 88 for an answer otherwise. You came back just to rack your brain? That's what this is all about.
ごめんね、エンジェちゃん。
Sorry, NJ-chan.
でもほら、メダルをもらえたか
Look, we got a
ら。
medal.
許して
Please forgive me. With this, I bid you adieu. Alright, take care, dude. We got another medal. Just how many have we gotten so far? Not enough. We still have a lot left. Next up is Shannon. Okay, one medal. We managed to get that without fucking up, though. That's nice.
私の問題はそんなに難しくありませんので、ご安心ください。
Well, hopefully the quiz should be over. The quiz should be over for next time. Mine isn't that hard. You can relax.
姉さんのレベルで考えてるからね。
After all, you managed to think it up.
もう、バカにして。
Making
じ
fun of me.
ゃあ、カノン君も挑戦してみる？
You wanna have a go at it too, Cannon-kun?
望むところさ。
Bring it.
今度はエンジェちゃんにもわかる問題だそうよ。
Sounds like you'll be able to understand it this
お
time,
ばさんは
NJ-chan.
ヒント役に回るわ。
I'll stick to giving hints again.
頑張る
my
く
best. I'll solve
メ
it.
ダル集め
Another medal for me.
る。それでは参りますね。
Let's go
よ
then.
くお聞きください。
Listen carefully. Okay. O for lemonade, A for anchovy, P for pepperjack, W for white chocolate. P is unique in this list. A is not unique in this list, but it starts anchovy. Why is O lemonade? I want to say B is black coffee, but why is O lemonade? Why is O lemonade? It's not the first closed letter in these. Why is O lemonade? We need to know why O is lemonade. It's probably not W-A. It's not, probably not, black coffee is not W and A, I guess, because they're duplicates. You have no clue. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Why is, so anchovy could be A because the first letter in it, but that rule is breaking for lemonade, which has an O. Now, I would say O could be, I could say I could be removed for readability so that I and L aren't the same. So you pick O, but why would you pick O instead of E? So why is there an O here? That's the question. What is the O in lemonade representing? So W is white. He is pepperjack. A is for anchovy. O is for lemons because they're round. Oh. I'm just trying to think, like, what is the reasoning for anything other than B here? I want to know what the reasoning for something other than B is before we go anywhere. Like, what would your argument be for anything else? Like, okay, here's a reasoning, right? Here's a reasoning for something other than B. Black coffee could be I. And the reason it could be I is because lemonade exists. And they can't use... Or I guess it's an I, not an L. And I is confusing. I'm just guessing. They could be lowercase and they're just messing with the cases for us. The case may not matter. If we assume they're all lowercase... If we assume they're all lowercase, I for readability is an option. A does not make sense. Vowels haven't been important before, and A is already taken. Same with O. I don't think it's O because O is taken, neither with W. B. I don't have an argument against B, though, is the issue. Why not B? Like, B or I/L works, but why not B? Because lemonade isn't I already? Does that imply that black coffee is I? But why isn't black coffee B? Like, we can just pick B right now. I'm not seeing black coffee. Like, what is... Like, okay, assume B. Why is it B? It's B because it starts with a B. Okay. Why is it I? Because lemonade's not I? Is that a stronger argument? Is that a stronger argument? I'm actually gonna look this one up. I don't actually have any arguments for this, so I'm gonna look this one up real quick. Save us 2 seconds. Looking it up. Questions. And there's the king question. Okay, question 11. White chocolate, pepper jack, anchovy. What does it stand for? The answer is... I don't really get it, but apparently it's D. It says it's D. I think I already saved. No, I didn't. The answer, according to the wiki, is D, but I'm not quite sure why it's D. Based on because they show a reasoning, but I'm confused. So let's hope the explanation in game's a little bit better. The answer.
ここにある食べ物の味を考えてみて。
Think about the taste of all these
甘納
foods.
豆の味は？
How does white chocolate taste? Sweet. Amai. Even worse, it's amai.
塩せんべいの味は？
Pepper jack cheese. It's cheese. Sweet? Or spicy?
しょっぱい。
It's spicy. Dude, pepper jack cheese is not that spicy. Fuck off. I assume spicy because people were like... I like eating various variations of something jack cheese. They are not spicy. I guess spicy because they had... I guess spicy because it says pepper, but I don't think it's spicy. Alright. E. Sweet is W. It's I because it's bitter? It's black coffee is I because it's bitter then? Lemons are sour, therefore they're O? Oh, okay, that's interesting.
カレーライスは？
Yeah, we have bitter for coffee. Okay. How about anchovy pizza? Salty?
そしてブラックコーヒーは？
Lemonade. Sour.
なるほど。そういうことか。
No, black coffee specifically is bitter. Coffee itself is not typically bitter, but yes, coffee is bitter. Anchovies can be salty. Anchovies are probably salty. They're fish. They're typically salted.
カレーは辛い。
Anchovies are
コー
salty.
ヒーはどういうこ
Lemonade's
と？
are sour. But it's the second letter in each of those
アル
words.
ファベットは味なの？
Does the letters match the tastes? I liked my other theory better. I like my other theory better, but this one sort of works. I mean, this one clearly defines why they're all set, which is another good solution. But the solution of because O was not taken, I is taken for coffee. And you just assume that they're actually all lowercase letters, which is what I did. I ignored the casing of the letter and went to the lowercase and realized that L and I look the same. Therefore, you wouldn't want to have lemon, or you wouldn't want to have lemon. You wouldn't want to have both lemon and. That doesn't even make sense, but like, it doesn't make sense. But since you would want to have like unique characters, but I don't think B and L are confusing. I don't know why I keep thinking black is I for some reason. I was just thinking I and L would be confusing, but then they go and do an I here. So I was thinking it was an L for that one. I was thinking it was more like the I was actually an L for black coffee. Due to the characters looking similar, but obviously that wasn't the case. The letters match the tastes? Yeah.
そういうこと。甘いをローマ字に直すと頭文字は A。
The second letter of sweet is
S
W.
はしょっぱいで、辛いは K で、苦いは N。
Interesting. So, in Japanese, they're explaining... In Japanese, they did the exact same puzzle, except it's the starting letter for each of them. It's actually the starting letter for whatever the flavor is in Japanese. In case you're wondering what the answer is in Japanese. So they had the same puzzle, but different letters. Making this the same puzzle. Making this more or less the same puzzle. Which is way better. Yeah, we had second letter, which is really hard. We had second letter of the flavor, which is a little bit harder. They had first letter of the flavor. Thinking about the second letter is a bit harder. True. But I mean, on the other hand, I don't know if the Japanese people had access to the why is this one O and not L? And then you look at the case. Like, they might have been given the character in Japanese, like the character in Japanese or something like that. So they may not have had the option to say... They may not have had the same characters. Because, like, my rationale was, it might be I, because I and L look the same in lowercase. And the I isn't taken for lemonade. That was my rationale, right? Was like, I'm not sure which one it is, because it could be this L, simply because the B is too straightforward. B is straightforward, but they didn't pick O, therefore, maybe they used the I/L maybe they screwed up and picked the I or L character or something. So, I don't think my line of reasoning would have worked. Or, I don't know if my line of reasoning would have worked in Japanese. Yeah, I and L look the same. If you capitalize an I, it looks the same as a lowercase l. So it could be L for black coffee. Because they didn't use the O for lemonade, which means the L could be taken elsewhere. Right? So L is taken by capital I in black coffee, and they just offered the lemonade later. You're like, oh yeah, I can't have two L's, so we'll do this. Now, why they picked L for black coffee, I don't fucking know. Maybe they have something else that's B. Maybe they have, I don't know. What's something that starts with B? Berries. I don't freaking know. Berries, comma, mixed. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. And that's B for them, so they had to use L. But yeah, second letter of spicy is P, salty is A, sour is O.
レモネードの味は?
So what does black coffee taste like?
酸っぱい
Supai, so it's gonna be S?
そういうこと。
Or
酸
bitter,
っ
sorry.
ぱいをローマ字に直した頭文字は S。
And the first letter of the Romanshi for Supai is S. Look at that. Exactly the second letter of bitter.
レモネードの答えは S ね。
Wait, when did you drink coffee?
はい正解でございます
Oh, they did lemonade there? Did they change it to lemonade? Wait, Supai. Wait a minute. Hold up. Really interesting. I gotta like... Hold up. Sour. Interesting. Yeah, they actually did lemonade for the last one. Because she asked like when you she was somewhat surprised about the lemonade, and I was like, why is she talking about lemonade at this point when in English she's like, when did you try coffee? Apparently the conversation was going differently, but I wasn't paying that much attention. Apparently the quiz was actually on what lemonade was in Japanese, I guess.
おめでとうございま
Nice
す
job.
エヴァ様エンジェ様
You got it right, Eva-sama and Jisama.
エヴァおばさんすごいすごい
Eva, you're awesome.
2人で頑張ったから解けたのよ。
We had to work together to solve that one.
2人の成果よ。
It's a team effort.
こちらが私のメダルでございま
And
す
here's my medal.
お受け取りください
Collecting medals like Pokemon.
やった、またメダルが1枚。
We got another medal.
ありがと
Thanks.
う。
How
カ
many
ノン
medals
君
is
は
that
わからな
tonight?
かった？
6? You didn't get it, did you, Canon-kun?
難しかったでしょう。
I bet it was hard.
姉さんにしてはやるね。
Not bad coming from you, Nason.
姉さんをバカにしてごめんなさいって言ってごらん。
Why don't you try saying sorry for making
言
fun
わ
of you?
ないとカノン君のご飯 S とか N のものばっかりにしちゃうからね。
If you don't, I'll make all your meals O and I. Oof.
S はともかく N ばっかりというのは辛いわね。
O is one thing, but eating I all the time would be awful. They picked the exact same line, but different letters in Japanese.
エンジェは A ばっかりがいい。
And NJ, of course, wants to eat amai things because amai is sweet in Japanese. But she says W in English because, of course, that makes more sense.
もう虫歯になっちゃうわよ。
And careful, you'll get cavity.
でもおばさんの家に遊びに来たらいっぱいごちそうしてあげるわ。
If you ever come over to my house to play, I'll be more than willing to share.
おばさん大好き。
Love you, Aunt Ava. In the end, Cannon caved under the threat of I cooking and was forced to apologize to Shannon. Medal received.
以上で私たちの問題は
That's all
おし
for
まい。
our
お
puzzles?
楽しみいただけましたか？
Did you enjoy them? Yeah, that's pretty good. Even if we didn't solve them by the right... Even if I'm not solving them the right way, I am solving them. Although I did have to look that one up too because I wasn't certain.
他の方も相当難しい問題を用意されているようです。
It seems the others still have some brain twisters waiting for you.
お気をつけて。
Be careful.
そうね。手強そうな人ばかり残ってるわ。
Everyone left. Looks like there'll be a challenge.
でもやっつける。
We'll win.
エヴァおばさんとなら勝てる。
We can do it if we work together.
そうね。
Alright,
二人
alright.
で知恵を出し合って頑張りましょう。
Let's combine our wits and move on. What's the next
いってら
puzzle?
っしゃいませ。頑張ってくださいね。
And good luck. Shannon and Cannon returned to the kitchen with the serving cart. The dining hall was filled with such an exciting and fun atmosphere, but out here in the corridor, one was reminded of the fierce winds and rain. But they were satisfied with this. The whole point of this noisy farewell party was to forget the loneliness of the rain for just a little bit.
これで長かったゲームもおしまいなんだね。
So we reached the end of this long game.
せいせいするよ。
Feel relieved. Yeah, we're at the end of the game. We're saying goodbye to all the characters. And NJ is saying goodbye to her family, having one last fun time.
ようやく僕たちは誰のおもちゃにもならなくて
Finally, we won't have to be toys for anyone else.
静かに忘れ去られて誇りに埋もれて消え去りたいね。
I'd like to be quietly forgotten to get covered with dust and vanish.
違うよ。
You're wrong.
私たちは誇りに埋もれて消えるんじゃない。
They aren't vanishing like that.
閉じられる猫箱の世界で誰にも知られることのない私たちの未来を続けていくんだよ。
In the world locked inside the cat box, our future will continue unknown to anyone.
そうだね。ごめん。
Right.
それは
Sorry.
僕たちにも知ることのできない世界だから。
The world even we can't know about. I forgot.
私たちは猫箱の世界でどんな未来を紡がれるんだろうね。
Just what kind of future will we make for ourselves in the cat box world?
それがわからないから
Don't know.
猫箱って言うんじゃないか。
That's why it's a cat box.
そうだね。
Good point, good point.
姉さんは心残りはないのかい？
Any regrets,
ジョー
Nason?
ジ様のこととか。
About George, perhaps?
姉さんはジョージ様に指輪をもらうまでしかできない。
Even that ring's all you can do for George 様?
結婚も添い遂げることも。
As for marriage,
何も。
living together, the rest.
それが叶うのが猫箱の中の私たちの未来じゃない。
Our future inside the cat box is what will make all that come true,
そ
isn't
れ
it?
は私だけじゃないよ。
I'm not the only
カ
one.
ノン君だってそう。
The same for you,
ジェシカ
Cannon.
お嬢様と
Right?
カノン君の未来とか。
What about your future with Lady Jessica?
僕は
私がジョージ様との婚約を破棄して島を出て行っていなくなる未来だってありえるんだよ。
I could break my engagement with George Sama, then leave the island and
その世
disappear.
界ではカノン君はもう私のことなんか何も気兼ねしなく
That
ていいよ。
future is possible
お
for
嬢
me.
様と青春を謳歌することができるんだよ。
In that world, you wouldn't have to hesitate for my sake. You could enjoy your youth to the fullest with milady.
姉さんがジョージ様との婚約を諦められるなら、そういう世界もあるかもね。
If you give up on your engagement with George, that sort of world might be possible.
だから
Oh?
私がジョージ様と結ばれる世界と
Since it's a cat box?
あなたがお嬢様と結ばれる世界が同時に存在できるのが猫箱の
Ah, she's
中じゃない。
right. Since it's not real, the world where she spends her life with George and the world where you spend your life with Jessica can both exist at the same time.
どんな矛盾した夢も
A world where
全てが
contradicting
同時に
dreams
存在
can
できる
exist
世
at the
界。
same time.
それが私たちという駒がしまわれる世界なの。
And that's the world we'll be put away in as
だから寂しくなんかないし、
No need to be lonely, no need to
悲
be
しく
sad.
今ここにいる私はジョージ様に指輪をもらうところまでしか観測でき
Even
な
though
い
the
けれ
me
ど、
here right now can only observe the part where I accept George Sama's ring. The other me who lives in the cat box in a world I cannot witness will surely build a happy life in the future. The cat box is such a strange thing, a place where any pieces and toys and dreams can be kept. It's no cage sealing us in. On the contrary, being inside the cat box means being free from everything in countless worlds.
すべてから解放され、
A world where
す
we're
べ
free
て
from
が同時
everything.
に叶う世界。
And yet, where all our wishes come true.
その世界の僕は、
The
今
me
こ
in
こに
this
いる
world
僕じゃない。
won't be the me here and now. Nope, it'd be another you.
それがなんだか悔しくて。
Bit depressing? Yeah, a little bit.
ねえカノン君
Hey, Canon-kun?
何？
しよっか。
Let's do it.
何を？
Do what? Fusion dance.
決闘
Let's have a duel. Alright, time to play some children's card games.
いいの？
Are you sure?
私たちはもっと早くに決着をつけるべきだった。
We both wish we'd settled this much sooner. It's time to
Nani?
duel!
こうしてゲームが終わる最後の瞬間まで
And we both put it off
そ
to
れ
the
を
last
先送
moment,
りにしてる。
just before the game's about to end.
いいよ。どうせ終わるゲームさ。
This game's nearly over anyway.
最後の最後くらい、僕ら
Now
は
at the
自分
end.
たちの決着をしっかりとこの手で
Let's
つける
settle
べき
things
なんだ。
by ourselves.
そうすれば猫箱にしまう前に私たちは未来を見ることができるもんね。
That way we'll be able to see our future before we're put away in the cat box.
いいとも、やろうじゃないか。
Sure, let's
何
do
で
it.
決める？
How will we decide it?
コイン？
A coin?
それともまた
With
鉄
pistols
砲で
again?
ね、じ
Um,
ゃあ私たちもクイズ大会にしよっか。
why don't we have our own quiz tournament? Okay.
はあ姉さんも物好きだ
Getting
な。
into this? Another duel?
じゃあね、
Alright then.
第1問
First question. Fade to black.
エンジェにはすごい難しい問題を出しちゃうよ。
Yeah, I assume which is Tea Party arcs, I assume. When I'm done this. No way there's no Tea Party. I'm gonna give NJ a really hard one.
とっておきの難しい問題でいじめてメダルなんか絶対にあげない。
I'll trick her with my extra hard puzzle and make sure she never gets my medal.
エンジェ解けるもん。
I'll
絶
solve
対
it.
解けるもん。
I'll definitely solve it. As soon as Mario and NJ crossed gazes, they started fighting. The two girls were so close in age, they were really good friends, but they also fought a lot. Especially when they were opponents in a game.
マリアちゃんはいろいろなクイズを知ってそうね。
Ooh, Mario probably knows tons of different quizzes.
楽しみだわ。
Should be
よろ
interesting.
しくね。
Stop it.
出さないよ。
Not
マ
now.
リアは真打ちだからママの後に出すの。
I'm the star. I'll go after Mama. Of course, of course.
そうじゃあ
Really?
ママが先でいい？
You sure it's okay for me to go first? Yeah, yeah.
じゃあ私から出題するわね。
Let's
いく
begin.
わよ。
Ready? Okay. Rockinjima is about to explode. There's only 1 hour left until the explosion. Rosa can make it to the stack of ingots in the underground VIP room in 3 minutes. However, ingots are heavy. She can only carry 1 out at a time. Furthermore, it takes her 5 minutes to carry it to the surface. She starts at the surface and goes back and forth between the surface and the underground VIP room. How many ingots can Rosa carry out of the underground room? Okay. First thought was 1, because she can only carry 1. Not an option. She gets 5 minutes to the surface. So what? It's 8 minutes per round trip. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 7 is 56. That gives me 7. That gives me 7. It took her 5 minutes to carry it. You can make it to the stack in 3 minutes. That gives me 7. Is there a way this is less? Could it be 4? Is it 10 minutes per trip? Plus 3, giving you 53. Making it 5 ingots. Could it be B? I don't think that's the case. She starts the surface and goes back and forth to the surface. She starts at the surface. And cut 3. Hold up, can this be another number? 1 second, I need to write this down with a pencil. I hope this pen works. This pen at my desk has been dying lately. Okay. Let's see, we start 3, 5, 5, 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 5. Okay, so we start on the surface, and she can go to the underground in 8 minutes. So 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. $59. There is 2 minutes. Okay, so there is at 59. At 56 minutes, there have been 7 bars delivered to the surface. At 56 minutes, there are 7 bars delivered to the surface. At 59 minutes, she is back in the underground VIP room, if she's suicidal. Because Ava is greedy, just like everyone else here. Okay, or sorry, not Ava. Rosa is greedy, just like everyone in the fucking family. Greedy as fuck, and she wants to save all the gold because that ended up getting her killed in the previous arc. If she's greedy enough to die for gold, is she greedy enough to try and get an 8th ingot out? Because at 59 minutes, she'll be in the room. And it does not, it says It says how many ingots can she carry out of the underground VIP room, not how many to the surface. Meaning she could be in the stairwell at minute 60. What do you think about that? It is 7 ingots she can carry as far as I can tell. Since it starts at the surface and goes back and forth between surface and underground VIP room. She is en route to the 8th ingot out of the VIP room. If we assume the VIP room is a single point, she is en route away from the VIP room. Therefore, she can carry an 8th ingot, right? That's the rationale I'm going to use. There's always twists here. I'm going to assume because of the candle question. This is why I'm doing this, by the way. The candle question in which it said every hour X happens. And we just assumed third hour and then we got because he said at the end of 3 hours and we're like, okay, simple math question. Boom, do it, done. They're doing the same trick here. It is 8 ingots, not 7, because it is 7 and a fraction that she can carry. And since they at least completed the trip to the storage in 3 minutes, that's why the trip is important. The trip time is important, and why I was writing it down. It should be E. Bam. 8 ingots. Aunt Rosa is suicidal.
それでいいの？
Is that your
黄金
final
を
answer?
地上に運ぶには1往復8分かかるのよ。
It takes 8 minutes to carry each ingot to the surface, right?
8×8 じゃ60分をはみ出しちゃうわよ。
8 times 8 is more than 60.
うん。
That's right.
だって何個持ち出したかが問題だもん。
The question was how many can she carry out of the room, not to the surface.
インゴットの部屋から一歩でも出れば持ち出したことになる。
Rosa only has to take 1 step out of the room to carry it out.
さすがエンジェちゃん。
Sasuga NJ-chan. Yeah, nice going.
たくさんの問題ですっかり鍛えられちゃったわ。
All those puzzles really warmed you up good.
そういうこと。7
Right.
往復すると 8×7 で56分。
Ah, the explanation for my answer. To do 7 trips, you need 8 times 7 equals 56
あ
minutes.
と
Yep.
4分しかない。
There's
で
4
も
minutes
3
left.
分あればまた地下貴賓室に戻って最後の1分で8個目の
You
インゴッ
can
トを
make
持
it
ち出
to
せ
the
る。
underground room in 3 minutes, and then carry out the 8th ingot in the last minute, and promptly die. Rose is correct, and that's how I came to that
エンジェもや
conclusion.
るね。
Not bad,
す
NJ.
ごいよ。
Nice one.
マリアお姉ちゃんには負けないもん。
We're not gonna lose to Mario One-chan?
お
Alright.
めでとう。これが私のメダルよ。
Here's my
じゃ
medal.
あ次はマリアのとっておきの問題に挑戦してあげて。
And now you can try the puzzle Mario picked out just for you. We got 1 medal. Time to start sweating because Mario's gonna try and ruin us.
ようやくマリアの番だね。
So it's finally my turn.
ママの簡単な問題にずいぶん時間をかけるから心配になっちゃったよ。
You took so long on Mama's easy puzzle. I got a little
エン
worried.
ジには無理だね。絶
There's
対
no way you'll ever solve this one. Oh?
エ
Oh?
ヴァおばさんがいるもん。2人で解くもん。
I've got Aunt Ava with me. We'll solve it together? Let's do it.
無理だよ、無理無理。
Muddy. What are you, Dio?
エヴァおばさんにだって解けたりはしない。
Even Aunt Ava can't solve this one.
狼と羊のパズルはものすごい難しいんだからね。
Wolf and sheep puzzles are incredibly hard. No, not more wolf and sheep puzzles. From her handbag, Mario pulled out a wolf and sheep puzzle book that's worn out well used and had a majestic feel to it like a grimoire.
狼と羊のパズルはわかるよね。
You know what a wolf and sheep puzzle is, right?
わかるよ。何度も出されたもん。
You show me those all the time.
こちらの岸から向こうの岸へ船を使ってみんなを移動させるパズルよ。
They're puzzles about using a boat to take everyone from one shore of a river to another.
大抵おかしなルールがあるのよね。
They usually have a few bizarre rules.
狼と羊の場合だとそれぞれの騎士で狼が羊の数を上回
When
って
there's
は
wolves
な
and
ら
sheep,
な
you
い
can't let the
だっけ
number of wolves on either shore get bigger than the number of sheep, right?
そう、その通り。狼が羊を上回らないように気をつけながら船を往復させて
Send
全
the
員
boat back and
を
forth.
対岸へ移動させ
Move
る
everyone
パ
to
ズ
the
ル
other
なの。
side. Make sure there's never more wolves than sheep. Yep, what do you got for us,
でもね
Mario?
狼と羊しかないのは一番シンプルで単純で簡単な入門編の基
The
礎
ones
編
with
の
wolves
練
and
習
sheep
問題程度なんだよ。
are the simplest, easiest, plainest beginners basic practice puzzle.
上
Practice
級
puzzles.
編になるとね、狼や羊以外にもいろいろ出てくるのよ。
When you get to the higher levels, you have many things other than wolves and sheep.
面白いわよ。
It's pretty clever. All right.
紙に書いた方がいい問題？
Should we write this down on a piece of paper?
そうね。その方がきっ
Good
と
idea.
整理がしやすいわよ。
It'll make it easier to sort your thoughts. Oh no.
参ったわね。この問題、かなり手こずりそうよ。
If they're recommending writing it down, I'm getting worried.
このメダルは絶対エンジェにはあげないの。
There's no way you're getting my medal, NJ.
負けないもん。絶対に負けないもん。
Just remember, this is not the hardest quiz game you've ever played. The hardest quiz game I've ever played in a visual novel was Hollow Ataraxia, for those of you who haven't played it. The ultra hard quiz mode. Get this one, okay? In one of the scenes in Hollow Ataraxia, Archer projects a bunch of fishing equipment and it specifies what the equipment is. The question is, what is the exact MSRP of all of his fishing gear? And no, it does not tell you what the fishing gear is in that question. The MSRP of obscure fishing gear from the 90s, never mentioned in-game. You have to Google that shit and know what the fishing gear is in the first place. Fuck that question. So, if you're ever like, how do you expect someone to solve it? That has been a question. I'm not gonna lose. Alright. 2-passenger boat to carry each person to the opposite bank of the river. On the near bank, there is a peasant, his wife, a shepherd, a sheep, a cow, some meat, and some vegetables. All these count as one passenger in a boat. A boat can only be rowed by the peasant, his wife, or the shepherd. Okay. So, peasant, wife, and shepherd. There's sheep, cow, and meat. If the wife is with the shepherd, when the peasant isn't around, they'll run away together. If the shepherd is near the meat, when the peasant and his wife aren't around, he'll eat it. If the sheep is near the vegetables when the shepherd isn't around, he'll eat them. If the cow is near the vegetables when no one's around, he'll eat them. It's a lot of trouble to unload meat, and so it's only been unloaded once, and it can't be unloaded again. Vegetables are easily bruised, so they can only ride the boat once. Can you achieve this in the smallest number of... Can you achieve this in the smallest number of steps? Okay, that's a tough one. Let's just take a random selection. Let's see, take peasant. What, does peasant have any rules applying to him? Peasant, if the shepherd is near the meat, when both peasant and wife are not around, he'll eat it. Okay, he doesn't want to be around the meat. Can we take the vegetables? But someone has to row it back. Okay. Is there a rule for peasant? Like someone doing something if the cow's near vegetables, no humans are around. The meat can't be unloaded again. If the sheep's near vegetables, when the shepherd isn't around, he'll eat them. So if we take shepherd vegetables first, can we do that? Shepherd vegetables. If we take like shepherd vegetables as the first trip. Shepherd vegetables first trip. We can't take peasant wife because that will leave us with no one. Leave vegetables there? No, that doesn't work. What happens if the sheep is by itself? Oh, thanks for the follow, my dude. What's the action of the sheep when it's by itself? Nothing, right? Okay. The sheep is problematic, so I'm gonna take the sheep. What if I take the sheep first? I move the sheep. drop the sheep off. There's no danger to the sheep. Sheep can be safely moved, no problem, right? It's when other things are... Oh, thanks for the drink, my dude. It's when other things are involved as a problem. Sheep can move safely, there's no restrictions on that. What about the cow? Cow can be safely moved. Sheep, cow, meat. Can I move? What happens to the meat? Can I move the meat easily one time? Is there a... What's the rules for meat? The shepherd's near meat. The shepherd's the dangerous one, right? With the meat? Okay. Cows near vegetables. It's trouble to unload the meat. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Can I do a delivery? I'm just thinking, can I do a delivery of, sheep? Sheep. Cow. Sheep and cow are safe. Then I swap the, then I put, like, the wife and the... peasant together? I don't know if... I don't know if wife and shepherd on the boat count. Does wife and shepherd on the boat count? I think I still manage that. Okay, so let's bring... peasant. So we can bring peasant over next? Can we do, like, peasant? No, wait. If the shepherd's near the meat when both his peasant and his wife are not around, we can't do that. Does anyone eat the meat? No one eats the meat, right? No one eats the meat by itself. If I do meat third... If I do meat third with, say, the wife? If I do meat third with the wife... Then I drop the shepherd off? Hold up, then I drop... Meat third with the wife, drop the shepherd off. Drop the vegetables off and then drop the wife off? Does that work? Let's see. Is there any rule for needing the shepherd to not... If the shepherd's near meat, when both the peasant and his wife aren't around, he'll eat it. If the sheep's near vegetables, when the shepherd isn't around, he'll eat them. I delivered sheep first, right? Yeah, I delivered sheep first. So that rule's taken care of. If the cow's near vegetable, we know the humans are around, he'll eat them, that's fine. The meat can only be unloaded once. Vegetables are easily birds, they can only ride the boat once. Okay. I think I did that in linear order, and that works. Yeah, vegetables. Because we do sheep, cow, meat. Those are pretty safe. The cow doesn't interact with the meat at all, and the, Oh wait, did I do something wrong? Hold up, I think I had a logic error somewhere. If I do, like, meat... I can't trust the peasant with that, can I? Or the shepherd with that. I can drop the meat off, but if I drop the shepherd near the meat when the peasant and his wife aren't around, they'll eat it. Hold up. If I do meat, then I need to do something else. That would mean, like... Wife delivers meat, right? Wife delivers meat. Then comes back. Husband and shepherd come back. Delivering shepherd? Delivering shepherd. Ooh, that's risky. Shepherd's gonna eat the meat if I deliver the shepherd. If I deliver the peasant... If I deliver the wife? Do I deliver wife? With... I deliver wife, and then I have shepherd on the left shore with the vegetables. Shepherd on the left shore with the vegetables. Yeah, I think that works. Then I do vegetables. So I do meat. Why? No, that would mean... No, meat. The meat deliverer is the wife, and then the delivery of the wife is done by the shepherd. Then the vegetables. I think this is less than 10. I'm trying to make sure that it works. I think it's less than 10. I think you can do this in a linear order. And then the carrier of the end. I think that's less than 10 steps. There's a couple changers in the piloting. I don't know how they count steps here though. I think it's less than 10 steps. My rationale says you can do this in a linear order without any duplicates or any weird changes. The only thing you have to do is change... You're delivering what? In order you deliver sheep, cow, meat, your wife, that's 4, the vegetables, 5, and then you do your final trip, 6 trips, with 1 changeover for the boat, from shepherd to wife, as pilot, from shepherd to, or from wife to regular ass dude, giving you 8. I think that's 8 steps. I think it's 8 steps. Anyone else come to a different conclusion? I think that one's pretty straightforward. Basically, the sheep doesn't interact with anything by itself, neither does the cow, so you can leave them by themselves on either side. On any side as long as they're by themselves. The meat also doesn't interact with anyone but the shepherd, so as long as the shepherd's not there, you're good. That should get you the first 3 pieces. And then from there, you just have to change who's rowing the boat and who's delivering people. Basically, the wife has to deliver the meat. The wife has to deliver the meat, that the shepherd can deliver the rest of the stuff. The shepherd delivers the rest of the stuff, the first batch of stuff, then the wife delivers the meat. And then the husband, of course, delivers the husband, of course, delivers the wife, because, you know, you don't want them running away. I don't know if being on the boat counts as running away. You could probably do it in a slightly different order, but I think A is the correct answer here. Is it a really nasty problem? Can it really be solved? It's not too bad.
荷物は川に放り込んで船を使わずに流すとか。
There's no
牛
trick.
に
This
野
is pretty
菜を食べ
linear.
させてお腹の中に入れて一人分にして運ぶとか。
Is the nasty problem? Can it be solved? Is there a trick to it, like throwing things into the river without using the boat?
そういうトンチがあるんじゃないの？
You don't even need a trick. Is there? Yeah. They're making the cow eat the vegetables so they can be carried as a passenger.
さてどうかしらね。
Who knows?
これ以上考えてわからないなら降参ってことにするけれど。
That's as far as you can go. Maybe you should give up, right?
これはすごい難しいよ。
This one's really
マ
hot.
ミだって解けなかったんだから。
Even Mama can solve it. I'm so sorry,
マ
Rosa.
リアは一発で解いちゃったけどね。
I solved it my first try.
さあわかる？
You get it?
なんてで全員が対岸に渡れるか。
How many trips did it take to get everyone across?
こ
Everything
れ
across?
トンチとかなぞなぞよね。
It's not a cheap trick or a riddle, right?
絶対まともに考えて解けないわよね。
There's no way you can solve this straightforwardly, right?
そんなことないわよ。
That's not true. It's perfectly
賢い
straightforward.
姉さんならきっとわかるわよ。
I'm sure you'll get it, Nason. Smart as you
な
are.
んてで全員が対岸に渡れるか。
How many trips does it take to get everyone across?
わかった。
You
さ
got
て
it. 3 trips. What?
さて
3 trips?
どうして
How?
だって農
Easy.
夫と妻が船に乗って対岸に妻を下ろして行って
The peasant and his wife get on the boat. Whoa, 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 what? Shepherd eats the meat. Shepherd eats the meat while you're on the boat.
農夫が船で戻って煮て
Peasant takes the boat back across in the second
そ
move.
して羊飼いと一緒に対岸に渡ってさて
Oh, then he crosses with the shepherd in the third move.
牛とか羊とか
What about the cow and sheep? Was it just people?
肉とか野菜とかはどうするのよ。
What about the cow and the sheep? What about the meat and the vegetables?
だって全員でしょ
But on Ava it said to take every person across, right?
人じゃないし
The other things aren't people.
あ
As on Ava's mouth flopped open, Rosa started applauding. After clicking her tongue, Mario and Achan joined in.
正解よ。
That's
問
right.
題が聞いてるのは全員が対岸へ渡るには何てかかるかという
Why
こ
did
と
they
なの
make the answer to solving the question and the answer to the riddle the same choice? They should have given you an absolute number instead of saying less than 10. Why on earth did they do that? I worked out the answer to the puzzle as a transfer everything. Alright. Like, there's lots of rules. But, okay. Alright. Okay. The puzzle. I don't know why I'd ask that question and then has the answer for the puzzle also be the. I wrote out an answer in my head that was 10 steps. That was less than 10 steps. Theoretically it might be, if you count trips back, it counts as more than 10 steps. To deliver everything, but whatever. Alright. I came up with an actual answer to the problem that was... that, if written in step form, would have been, using the word delivery. Because I just said X delivers Y across the river, 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 and I came to 10 steps. I came to the count of objects in steps. Oh god. With extra steps to specify people who are changing over piloting. Maybe, which still gave me less than 10. I got 6 steps. I solved the riddle, but not the way they wanted me to. I wish they'd given 3 as an answer, then I could have actually done that. The question asks how many moves it would take to move each person
動
across.
物も荷物も初めから関係ないのよね。
Animals and luggage never had anything to do with it.
ママが全員って何度も繰り返すからバレちゃったんだよ
I only got it because you kept saying every person over and over again, Mom.
おー
Aunt Rosa probably said it so much as a sort of hint. Without that, even I wouldn't have figured it.
もう
I blundered into the right answer on the quiz.
すっかりやられたわ。
I was totally taken
意
in.
地悪問題だったなんてね。
ほらマリア、
Come
メ
on,
ダル
Mari.
をエンジェちゃんに渡しなさい。
Give NJ her medal. NJ's smarter than me. Oh god, I'm dumber than a 6-year-old.
うーんうーんうーん
Whining like an unhappy dog, she reluctantly handed over the medal. I grabbed it and started jumping around like a happy dog. As Maria One-chan smiled at me from behind, her face was bright like a big sister's. We got a medal. By blundering into it.
これで私たちの問題はおしまいよ。
That's the end of our
また
riddles.
ぜひ一緒に遊びましょうね。
Let's play again sometime, okay?
その時はもっともっと難しい本当にひどい問題を用意しておくからね。
Next time we'll have a nasty puzzle to her. Most people can't beat a 5th grader in Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? Dude, the 5th graders in Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader are like A+ students in private school advanced classes taking calculus. It's like are you smarter than a 5th grader? Here's a differential equation, and you're like, what the fuck? This is calculus 2. What the fuck? This is like first year university. And it's like, yes, 5th graders know this. I've actually seen Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? I freaking hate that show. The questions in that are, I saw that show when I was in grade 7, and I was like, some of these questions I know the answer to. They were not in grade 5. Like, they were not in grade 5. They're like high school questions, and you're like, I feel like this is super biased. Or it'll be like incredibly specific. I really don't like that show. The premise is that it's stuff that's generally taught in 5th grade, and then it's always stuff that's like cutting edge 5th grade or very, very, very specific. It's either very, very specific knowledge that you'd have to like know, like very specific dates and stuff, which is always terrible. Like, unless it's like a really famous date, you can't just pick like a random ass date and be like, ah, yes. Ah, yes, like, on what day did the 5th Crusade start? And you're like, fuck, what? The 5th Crusade? Shit, I barely know that there's more than 5 Crusades. And it's like, ah, yes, but every 5th grader should know the date of the start and end date of every single Crusade, even though half of them just fucking petered out. It's like there's official end dates to the Crusades? Fuck, I just thought they gave up after a while. Like, that's how, like, it's like the start date is probably the date the Pope declared it, but like, I don't know what date the Pope declared any of them. I don't even know the date, or it's like, what's another, like, I swear, I'm not even joking, I've actually seen a question about like the reign of a king, and it was like, what year did they ascend the throne? And I'm like, are you fucking serious? A 5th grader knowing the year anyone ascended the throne? The only Crusades that matter are the first 4. That's the point. That's why it's the 5th Crusade. That's why it's the 5th Crusade. It has to be the ones that are irrelevant. The less relevant the Crusade, the more silly it is. Like, picking, like, who's the 7th king of England? 7th king. Okay, like, thanks, guys. Who's the 7th king and when did they ascend? Like, I've seen some really dumb questions on how Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? I hate that show. I watched, like, 2 episodes. I watched, like, 1 episode of it voluntarily, and then my parents watched a couple more episodes of it. And I was like, guys, you should really not watch this. I was like, guys, I hate this show, so I'm gonna leave. I never watched it again. Yes, I have a problem with that show because the questions are not questions you would reasonably ask in 5th grade or things. Like, if it's like math, if it's like a straightforward math or like a language question, I can understand that. Or it's like, you know, asking about the structure of like your language, like things that could reasonably be answered by anyone who's actually going to school. But when they're like incredibly specific, things that you would only know if you went to that specific school, it's really irritating. Like, either that or you're in, like, first year university and you're like, oh, I can answer this. Like, it should be the stuff that's in the curriculum. Like, I don't know where... I assume there's multiple versions of Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader. If it was stuff that was in the fucking, like, curriculum for, like, you know, whatever the government... you know, whatever the United States government puts out, like, I assume it's in the US, so... US or England. If it's, like, in the curriculum for whatever the government puts out is, like... That should be what you define it as, not as like whatever this obscure private school that teaches very specific stuff is. It'd be like asking it'd be like me hosting a quiz show and then I ask the question, what's my dad's birthday? And expect you guys to reasonably answer it. You're like, it's like, oh, are you smarter than the average streamer? And you're like, okay, average streamer, when's my dad's birthday? You don't know the answer? Fuck you, you don't know anything. Like, they're based around a real specific textbook? They might be. You also wouldn't expect a 5th grader to have memorized the entire textbook for some things. the math textbook, probably all the principles should be known of that textbook, assuming it meets the standard requirements. But questions like specific dates, I don't expect anyone to know. In fact, if you right now know every single one of the dates of any of your history textbooks, I would like every single one of them. If I like read them in linear order, I will like straight up give you $50 to go through an entire history textbook and know every single date mentioned in it. You don't even need to know. You don't even need to know what the section is. I don't even think you could know the section titles. Like, it's unreal. Like, I'm okay with very famous dates. Like, if you know D-Day, if you know VE Day, if you know like your Independence Day, stuff like that, pretty important. But yeah, I don't think like really obscure dates should be required knowledge at any point. At least for history, like you should know general era. You should know like a few general eras and stuff like that. And you should probably be able to write like an essay on like contributing factors or something. Because knowing the events is probably more important than knowing the exact date, time and month. The exact date and time of any event. Unless you're like very specifically trying to, you know, look for a contradiction or something. And in fact, that's generally where they go in like, that's generally where they go in university history, right? Is, for university history, it's like almost always, if it's a specific date, the question is going to be multiple choice. At least with the university I went to. If it's like something that's very specific, it's always going to be multiple choice. Otherwise, it's going to be very general, and it'll be like a lot of the exams are just going to be essays or short form. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure most of my history exams did not have multiple choice sections in them, or they were like very, very general multiple choice sections with most of your time spent writing essays. There was always an essay and usually at least 3 short form answers, or long form answers. That was the structure of most of them. But it's not all that valuable. Is that show still on? Hell if I know. Next time you'll have a nasty puzzle that's even harder. Alright, Mario. One's so hard even I couldn't solve it. I'm not playing with Mario Oni-chan anymore. Look, NJ-chan. Your parents are waving at you. Let's go. Later, Rosa. Later, NJ-chan. There aren't too many people left with puzzles for you. Yeah, we got your parents. Actually, who do we have left? Our parents, Battler, and Beatrice. And the cousins? Our parents, Battler, Beatrice, and the cousins? The other 2 cousins, I think we missed. We've done like almost all the adults. Keep it up until the end, and make sure you keep cheering her on, Nei-san. Why, of course, of course. We got all these medals by working together, right? Right? Yes, we did. Working together. We dashed away. Dad and Mom are waving at me from over there. I'm sure they've thought up some mean problems. Still, they have to be easier than Mario One-chan's. I hate Mario One-chan. She's such a meanie. But her question just was actually very simple. Wait, Saktaro? You bullied her too much with that puzzle. I wanted to play with NJ a lot. If it was an easy one, you'd solve it right away, right? You really do love NJ, don't you? I hate her. She made fun of you and called you a stuffed animal. She's like, I fucking hate her. Maria petted as she said this, but her expression didn't match her words at all. I hope NJ finds happiness. I'm sure she will.
これだけの大勢があの子の幸せを願ってる。
After all, look at all the people here wishing for her
そしてバ
happiness.
トラはゲームマスターにまでなり、エンジェのためだけにこの最後のゲームを開いてる。
Now that Battler is Game Master, he's set up this final game just
そ
for
こまでし
NJ.
てもらって幸せじゃないわけがないよ。
After all this, there's no way she won't be happy.
でも幸せはみんなが用意することはできても掴み取るのは自分だからね。
Still, even though anyone can make happiness appear, you can only ever grasp it for yourself.
そうだね。
That's right, that's right.
あの子は幸せのかけらを拾うのがすごい下手なの。
That kid's really bad at finding fragments of happiness.
それを教えようにも12年間の日々があの子の耳を塞いでしまった。
Even though we tried to teach her how, she's been covering her ears for 12 full
こ
years.
のゲーム、バトラが思ってるよりもエンジェには難しいかもしれない。
This game might be much harder for NJ than Battler thinks.
僕はエンジェはきっと幸せになってくれると思うな。
You're sure NJ will find happiness?
そうだね。
Yeah.
このパーティーをあの子が楽しいと素直に思ってくれたなら、
If she really does enjoy herself at this party,
それが今のあの子に伝えられる精一杯かもしれない。
that itself might be the greatest lesson we can teach her now. NJ is the girl who doesn't believe and says everything's a trick no matter what magic is shown to her. 12 years in the future, the girl will become the last person to inherit Beatrice's name.
あの子は一度は私の白い魔法を理解したんだよ。
At one point, that girl understood my white magic.
うん、
White magic? Restoration
僕
magic?
のことも理解してくれ
She
たよ。
understood me too.
7姉妹のみんなさえ呼び出し魔法を理解できたはず。
She even summoned all 7 sisters and understood magic itself. Yeah, but will she
そん
now?
な彼女が自分にだけは魔法を使えないなんてね。
And yet, she still can't use magic on herself.
信じよ。
Let's believe.
かつてのバトラもそうだったではないか。
As Battler once did.
ベアと
Believe!
人に魔法をかけるのはたやすい。
It's easy to cast magic on
そして
others.
人の魔法を信じることも
Believing in another's magic is not so difficult either.
最も難しいのは
The hardest thing
自らに魔法をかけることなの
is
だ。
casting magic on yourself.
それがエンジェにできるかな。
That's something NJ can do? It's gonna have to be.
できるとも。
You can? See? It's possible.
あのバトラでさえ魔法を理解した。
Even Battler managed to understand magic. The man
そ
who
の
vehemently
妹に
denied
で
it.
きぬ道理はない。
Of course, his little sister will be able to do the same.
そうだね。
You're right.
子供のうちにしか見えない魔法もあるし、
There's some kinds of magic we can only see when we're
大
kids.
人になって理解できる魔法もある。
And there are some adults, some that only adults can
エンジ
understand.
ェは今その狭間にいる。
Jay's between the two of those now.
子供の魔法を失い、さりとて大人の魔法も理解できぬ。
He lost the magic of
最
children,
も
but has
辛
yet
き
to
世代で
understand
あるな。
the magic of adults. It's the most painful period of one's life.
そんな時に大切な人たちが身近にいないなんて本当にかわいそうだね。
Didn't have anyone close to her at a time like that.
そんなことないよ。
That's not true. Oh? That's not
私た
true.
ちはいつだってあの子のそばにいるんだよ。
We're always by the kid's side.
あの子がそれを信じないだけで。
He just doesn't believe it. Of course, everyone's by my side if you believe in ghosts. NJ, please realize it quickly. There are so many people smiling at you from behind, watching over you. If you just turn around, we'll be able to smile so much more and talk to you so much more. You're NJ Beatrice, the final witch of Mariage Sorcière.
正しい結末にたどり着けないとしても、
Even if you aren't able to do the right thing in the end.
せめて今夜を君が楽しんでくれることを
You can at least
心
enjoy
よ
yourself
り祈って
tonight.
いるよ。
Have fun, NJ. So long! The time we spent together feels so long and yet so short. Even so, for me, these memories are eternal.
どうだエンジ
How's it going,
メダルは
NJ?
いっぱい集まったか
Get a ton of medals? Doing alright. I wonder how many it is to out. Too many. Too many to hold in my
さあ
pocket.
ね後で数えてみましょうね。
Let's count them later, okay?
も
It's
う
a whole
だい
lot.
ぶ大勢から問題をもらったみたいね。
Seems you've been given quite a few puzzles already. Yeah, sorry, you're not the first.
お母さんたちに問題をもらったら、あとはいとこのみんなだけだと思う。
After I get your puzzles, I think only the cousins are left. Then these better be good ones. The adults have already fallen. Is that so, huh? Yep. It is so.
よし
Alright.
お父さんたちの問題に挑んでみろ
Time to take a shot at Mom and Dad's puzzles. I'm ready.
難しいぞ
I'll warn you, they're gonna be hard. Alright.
みんな同じこと言ってたけど、私たちが解いてきちゃったもんね。
Everyone says the same thing, but we just keep on solving them. Guess y'all are not as good at puzzles as you thought you were.
だから私とエヴァおばさんでメダルをいただいちゃう。
Get those medals together.
その意気よ。
That's the spirit.
じゃ
That's
あ
the spirit.
私から問題を出そうかしら。
Okay, I guess I'll go first. Oh, hello. Okay. There were 3 girls. Miyoko says, I'm the oldest. Satoko says, Rika isn't the oldest. Rika says, Miyoko's a liar. Alright. Only the oldest of the 3 girls is speaking the truth. Who is the eldest? Logic puzzle. Okay. If Miyoko is the oldest, she says she's the oldest. Rika says Miyoko is a liar. If Rika is... let's assume Miyoko is true, okay? Miyoko is the oldest, she's speaking the truth. Then Satoko says Rika isn't the oldest, which means she's lying, meaning Rika is the oldest, which doesn't follow. And Rika says Miyoko's a liar, which means Miyoko's telling the truth. That doesn't work, right? Satoko says Rika isn't the oldest, but if she's lying and we negate Rika isn't the oldest, we get Rika is the oldest, which doesn't work. Because she'd have to be telling the truth. So since the oldest is telling it, Miyoko is probably not the person. Next up is Satoko. Miyoko says I'm the oldest. She says I'm not the oldest. Okay, that might be true. Then Rika says Miyoko's a liar. Nipa, doesn't work. Miyoko is young Takano? Yeah. I don't know how young Takano got here. Okay, so Satoko isn't gonna work because then Rika would be telling the truth. So Rika says Miyoko's a liar. That could be true. If Rika is the oldest, then Miyoko saying she's the oldest would be a lie. Satoko says Rika isn't the oldest. However, Satoko is lying, therefore Rika is the oldest. This follows. This is correct, so Rika is likely the oldest. And that's how you'd solve that real quick. Make an assumption and check if it's true. The answer should be C. I don't think anyone needs to check this one. I'm not even gonna save. I'm that confident. If we fuck up, wow, we fucked up. Rika!
正解
Miss Furude is the oldest.
さすがエンジェちゃんよ
Nice job, NJ.
娘はこんなに賢いのに、間抜けな父親の顔が見てみたいわ。
Hard to imagine such a smart girl being related to that dolt of a father.
間抜けで悪うござんしたな。
Sorry for being a
お
dolt.
見事だぜ、エンジェ。
Nice going, NJ.
全部の組み合わせを考えてみたのか？
Did you think of all the combinations?
みよこが一番年上だとすると、さとこの言うことは本当になっちゃう。
If Miyoko's the oldest, then what Satoko says
本
is
当の
true?
ことは一番年上しか言わないはずだから、これじゃおかしい。
Only the oldest person is supposed to tell the truth, so that doesn't make sense.
その通り。
That's
じゃあ
right.
さとこが一番年上
What
の
if
場合は
Satoko's the oldest?
そうすると、みよこを嘘つきだと指摘するリカが、やっぱり本当のことを言ってる
If
こ
she
とに
is,
なっちゃ
then
って、
Rika would be
おか
telling
し
the
くなる。
truth when she says Miyoko's a liar, which doesn't work.
だから、リカが一番年上じゃない
Rika
と
has
ダ
to
メ
be the
なの。
oldest.
よくできました。
Good job, good job.
はい。これが私からのメダルよ。
Head pats from
お
Kyrie,
めでとう。
more valuable than the medal.
ありがとう、
Kyrie.
お母さん。
Thank you, Mom. Kyrie does not give out head pats, unfortunately. Damn.
次はルドルフね。
Next up is
どん
Rudolph.
な問題を出すのかしら。
I wonder what kind of puzzle he has for us.
じゃあ俺も同じ嘘つき問題を出そうかな。
Guess I'll do a liar
今度
puzzle
は
too.
もうひとひねりいくぜ。
Let's crank it up a notch this time. This time! Oh my goodness, 6 answers. Miyoko, Satoko, and Rika are all wearing masks. None of them know who is who. We'll have them read on paper so no one can recognize the voices of the others. Ah. Girl on the right, the girl in the middle is Miyoko. The girl in the middle. The girl on the left is Miyoko. Girl on the left, the girl on the right is Satoko. Oh. Okay. So of the three, only Miyoko speaks the truth. However, Satoko and Rika aren't necessarily lying. So we don't know if they're lying. We only know that one of them is absolutely true. So let's do this again. Okay. Oh, Satoko and Rika can be anyone, so let's just assume are irrelevant as there's no rules that apply to them. So let's just assume Miyoko is left slot. Let's assume Miyoko is left slot and we'll work from there. So it says left slot, or sorry, not left slot. Right slot, I guess. Girl on the right. It's working right to left for some reason. I assumed it would go left to right. So I'm going to assume that girl on the right says girl in the middle is Miyoko. Miyoko wouldn't say that, right? Because Miyoko always speaks the truth. So girl on the right is not Miyoko. Oh my god, that's so confusing. Who are the three girls from left to right, and then they give them to us right to left? That might be a trick somewhere. Okay. So girl on the right saying the girl in the middle is Miyoko doesn't work if it's Miyoko. So right side can't be Miyoko. So that's an easy axe of answers A and C. Basically Miyoko can't ever say a lie. So Miyoko's not on the right. Miyoko also can't be in the middle because it says the girl on the left is Miyoko. If Miyoko was in the middle, she can't tell the truth. She can't lie, so she's wrong. So answers B and D are out. So we're left with she must be in the left. Makes sense? It's not considerably more complicated. We only need to know what Miyoko's thinking. If Miyoko says that someone other than her is Miyoko, that doesn't work. So he kind of gave us a really easy clause where it says Miyoko is on the left. So Miyoko it's either E or F. And then she says the girl on the right is Satoko. Now, another way to do this, other than going through these, is to actually point out something. Only one of them gives you the location of someone else. Which means it has to be left for Miyoko. That's a good check here. So, basically, we'd have no way of determining whether... we'd have no way of determining who someone is because there's no information about whether or not Satoko and Rika are lying. We would have no way of determining whether or not where the location of Satoko and Rika are to get a precise answer if it was not Miyoko. Because the other ones just mentioned Miyoko's position. We don't even need to know if they're true or not. We just know that absolutely it has to be the left person. So Miyoko is saying the girl on the right is Satoko. Therefore, the answer should be E. I don't think there's any questions about that. That should be pretty straightforward. Answer has to be E. No questions. I'm gonna save. I'm not saving because I need to do this. I'm just saving because we need to get in the habit of saving, and I don't want to forget for another question. It should be this one because the girl on the right has to be Satoko. I know who Miyoko is. She's on the left. Why is Miyoko telling the truth instead of lying? Miyoko's on the left. After all, the girls in the middle and the right both say someone else is Miyoko. Yep. So even if they say... So here's the thing, NJ. Here's the thing for, like, what I was trying to... I'm gonna clarify again. Because they only specify that they're Miyoko, even if she said, I am Miyoko, that would not be a valid answer because we wouldn't know if anyone else was telling the truth. We wouldn't know if they were telling the truth for the other positions. So if Centaur said Centaur is Miyoko, or I am Miyoko, you could not actually take that as the answer if there was a more correct solution, because then you wouldn't know who was Satoko and who was Rika. It would be a 50-50. Because you wouldn't know if they were true. There's an absolute answer to the question. Yeah, if they were Miyoko, they couldn't lie and say someone else was Miyoko.
その通り。Miyoko は正直者のはず。
Miyoko is supposed to be honest. An honest murderer, perhaps.
他人がMiyokoだなんていう時点で、その子はMiyokoじゃないってわかる
So
わ
once
け。
someone says that someone else is Miyoko, they can't be her.
そうなると、右側と真ん中の子はミヨコじゃないから、
Since the
左
middle
側
one and
の
the
子
right one
が
aren't
自
Miyoko,
動
the
的
left
にミ
one
ヨコになる。
automatically
そし
is.
てミヨコは本当のことを言ってるんだから、右の子がサトコというのも本当になる。
And since Miyoko speaks the truth, it's also true the kid on the right is Satoko.
となれば、残る真ん中の子はリカってことになるわね。
Means the only kid left, the one in the middle is
素晴
Rika.
らしいわ。満点よ。
ケロッと解かれちまったな。
You solved it like it was nothing.
エンジェ、お前は母さんに似て本当に賢いぞ。
And Jay, you're really smart like your mom. Dad rubbed my cheek and hugged me. Medal received.
これで俺たちの問題はおしまいだ。
That's all for our puzzles.
いいエンジェ。
Chin up and Jay. We got 3 more quizzes left, plus Beatrice, maybe.
人生にはこれからもたくさんの問題が訪れるわ。
Life will lead you through countless puzzles.
今はエヴァおばさんが助けてくれるから頼ってもいい。
Aunt Ava's here to help you now. It's okay to
で
rely on
も
her.
ね、人生の問題のほとんどはあなた一人で解かなくちゃならない
However,
の。
you'll have to solve most problems in life by yourself.
その時にそれまで助けてくれた人の助言や恩を必ず思い出すようにしてね。
When that happens, you must remember the advice you've gotten from those who helped you in the past.
わかった。
I get it. I get it.
エヴァ姉さん、
Ava Nason,
エンジェをよろしくね。
take care of NJ.
ええ。もちろんよ。
Of course, of course. Even though the cousins were the only ones who hadn't given us puzzles, Mom spoke as though I was leaving on a long, long trip. Weird.
行きましょう、エンジェちゃん。
Let's go, NJ
あと
Chan.
少しでこのゲームもおしまいね。
Game will be over soon.
いっぱいのメダルでおじいちゃんは何をくれるのかな。
I wonder what Grandpa will give us for getting all these medals.
何かしらね。
Me too.
でもそんなものよりももっ
Honestly,
と
me
素
three,
敵
Eva.
で楽しいものを私たちはもういっぱい受け取っているわ。
Still, we've already gotten many things that are far more wonderful than that prize.
何の話？
What do you mean?
みんなエンジェちゃんとこうしてお話ができてとても楽しかったという
We've
こ
all
と
had a
よ。
lot of fun talking to you like this, NJ Chan.
うん。何のことかわかんない。
I don't get it.
変なおばさん。
You're weird.
ごめんなさい。
Sorry.
行きましょう。
Let's go then.
あとはいとこのみんなとベアトリーチェでおしまいかしら。
Now all that's left are the cousins and Beatrice, I guess. Ha! I knew it. Beatrice.
何？
What is it?
こんなところに呼び出して。
Why'd you tell me to come over
エ
here?
ンジェの話？
Is it something to do with NJ?
いや、違う。
That's not it. Rudolph put a cigarette in his mouth and toyed with his lighter. Though he should have done this easily, he somehow managed to mess up several times.
俺はこいつを棺の中まで
I wanted to take this to my grave.
猫箱の中に
No, to hide it in away in a cat box.
明日の晩まで口にチャックをしてりゃそうできる。
If I just kept my mouth shut until tomorrow night, I'd be able to do
簡
it.
単なもんさ。
It'd be easy.
ほら、今夜殺されるだろうなって。
I might be killed tonight.
そういう話さ。
That's what I wanted to talk
知ってた
about.
わ。あなたが何か隠し事をしてるってこと。
I knew you were hiding
そ
something.
うかい
Did you?
じゃあ俺の修行もまだまだだな。
Guess I need more practice.
エンジェの話じゃないなら誰の話？
If it's not about NJ, who is it
ま
about?
さかアスムさんの話じゃないわよね。
You aren't talking about Osama-san, right?
バトラの話だ。
It's about Battler.
同じような話よ。
Comes to the same thing.
私はバトラ君には大人の対応をしてきたつもりよ。
I tried to behave as an adult towards Battler,
アス
Kuma.
ムさんの子であっても、私はエンジェと分け隔てなく接してきたつもり。
Even though he's Osama's son, I tried treating him the same as
ちゃん
NJ.
と我が家の子供だと思ってるから安心して。
I think of him as a child in our family, so don't worry.
我が家の子じゃない。
He's not just a kid in our
俺とお
family.
前の子だ。
He's my kid and yours. We already knew that. This reveal should not be a surprise. I've been waiting 7 chapters for this. It was too obvious.
悪いけれど、そこだけは区別させてちょうだい。
Sorry, but you'll have to let me draw the line there.
違う。
You don't
俺
get
と
it.
お前
He's
の
my
子なん
kid.
だ。
And yours.
なんですって？
What?
死産したのはお前じゃない。
You didn't have a
ア
stillbirth?
スムだ。
Asumu
あ
did.
の時。お前とアスムとの二股を生産できず、俺はどうかしてたんだ。
Back then, when I was double timing the two of you, I got myself stuck and couldn't find a way
ま
out.
さか、
You told me.
まさか。
アスムと俺は籍を入れていた。
Asumu and I were
お
married.
前とは浮気の関係だった。
You and I were cheating.
そしてアスムは死産して、お
Asumu
前
had
は
a
出産しち
stillbirth.
まった。
You gave birth.
俺の頭はしっちゃかめっちゃかだった
My
ぜ。
head was a mess with it all. The sin Rudolph committed when his mind was at its most chaotic was to switch the two babies.
あの頃は今以上に金回りが良かったからな。
I was even better off
若
financially
か
back
ったから
then.
無理も無茶もしたぜ。
I was young. I didn't give a damn about what lengths I went to.
札束でしばきながら病院を脅して、お前とアスムの子を入
I
れ替え
threatened
た
the。hospital while slapping them with money and switched your kid with Asumu's. Damn, he didn't even do it secretly. He literally slapped them with money and told them. He threatened them and just did it anyway. What a guy. If Kyrie had a child, Rudolph would have to maintain 2 households. However, if Kyrie had a stillbirth and a child who survived with Asumu's, that would settle everything. The stillbirth might even given him a chance to break off his relationship with Kyrie. It was a grave sin, one that simply couldn't be forgiven as an act of youthful enthusiasm and immaturity.
だから俺は、お前たち3人に謝らなきゃいけない。
Happy birthday, Shonda. Jonah Park. That's why I should be apologizing to all 3 of you.
アスムには血のつながらない赤ん坊を押し付けた。
I forced Asumu to raise a kid that wasn't
あい
hers.
つはおっとりしてるように見えて、案外鋭かったからな。
That woman wasn't anywhere near as generous and accepting as she looked.
ひょっとしたら気づいてたかもしれない。
There's a chance she figured it out. However, she raised
自
Battler.
分を母と慕うバ
She
トラ
loved her as a mother with all the affection she
最
had.
後まで愛情たっぷりに育ててくれたよ。
And in Kyrie and Battler's cases, he had to atone for an even greater sin. He stole every moment of everyday family life they should have shared as mother and son. Until this very day, Kyrie had believed Battler was Asumu's child. Though she acted kindly towards him on the surface, she always kept the distance in her heart between herself and Asumu's son. Finally, Rudolph's conscience had been unable to bear seeing her like that.
そんな。私は。
Kyrie sank into a crouch, unable to speak.
俺を罵ってくれ。
Feel free to curse me.
いや、この場で殺してくれてもいい。
I couldn't complain if you killed me where I stand.
俺はそれだけのことをした。
That's how horrible my sin against you is.
これが猫箱にしまい込む前に俺が
This
白
is
状
the
した
secret I wanted to confess before the cat box closes over us. At least they fit this in here.
すまん
Sorry, Kyrie.
バトラ
And to you, Battler. Would Battler have still left the family if he knew
気
Kyrie
づ
was
け
his
ば
real mom?
随
Who
分と
knows?
たくさんの人に問題を出してもらったものね。
Come to think of it, we've already gone through a ton of puzzles.
うん。
Yep.
あとはジョージお兄ちゃんとジェシカお姉ちゃんとバトラお兄ちゃんとベアトリーチェだけだね。
And now there's only George Oni-chan, Jessica Oni-chan, Battler Oni-chan, and Beatrice left.
お、やっと来たぜ。
They're finally here.
待ちくたびれたよ。
Could hardly wait.
僕
You're
たちの
ready?
ことを忘れてるんじ
The
ゃないか
last
と心
round
配したよ。
of the last 4 quizzes are at hand. Thought you might have forgotten about us? Hell no. Finally, we challenged George Oni-chan and Jessica One-chan.
お待たせしたわね。
Sorry to keep you
二人
waiting.
ともとびきり難しい問題を用意できたか
Did
し
you
ら？
think up some incredibly hard ones for us?
私たちは2人で1つの問題を出すことにした
Oh,
ん
we
です。
decided to give you one puzzle together.
あらあら、それは一問でもおっかないわね。
Even one riddle from this pair sounds challenging.
エンジェちゃんのために用意した特製の問題だから頑張ってね。
It's a special challenge made for NJ-chan, so good luck.
解けるもん。絶対解けるもん。
I'll solve it. I'll definitely solve it.
じゃあ早速始めようか
Alright,
な
let's go.。
ジェシカちゃん、あれを並べよ
Jessica, let's set them out.
ほいきた。
There you go. They placed 3 small, colorful, cubic boxes on the table.
このうちの2つはびっくり箱。
2 of these are traps.
残りの1つにはメダルが入ってるん
The
だ。
other has a medal inside.
う。エンジェちゃんにはどれにメダルが入ってるか当てら
And
れ
Jay,
るか
do you
な。
think you can guess which has the medal in it?
ヒントがなかったら無理。
Not without
こ
a
んな
hint.
の運。
That would be luck.
そうだね。このままじゃただの運試しの3択
That's
だ。
right. So far, this is a test of luck with 3
確率は
choices.
つまり3分の1ってわけだね。
In other words, your odds of winning are 1 in 3.
ジョージ、こ
George,
れじゃクイズじゃないわ。
this isn't a quiz. He isn't done
本
yet.
当にただの運試しじゃ
It
ない。
really is a test of luck.
問題は後々。
The puzzle comes later.
話を続けよ
Let's continue.
さあ、エンジェ。
Okay,
こ
NJ.
の3つの箱のどれにメダルが入ってるかな？
Which of these has a medal inside, do you think?
直
Pick
感
one.
で選んでごらん。
Are we Monte Car? Are we, I know what we're doing. Okay, here we go. Say the first one that's popped into your head. So here's what they're gonna do. They're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. I think I know what they're gonna do. I'm gonna guess here. I think we're gonna pick one. They're gonna reveal one of the empty ones and ask us if we want to swap. And the answer is, should you? And the question might be, should you swap? And the answer is yes. I just from this premise, I am predicting not only the question, but also the answer. Let's go. A red, blue, and a green box. There's no way to know which one it's in. This really is a test of luck. Anyway, this is even worse than a hard puzzle. After all, if you solve a hard puzzle, you're always right. But in the very beginning, I picked an almond with a 1 in 15 chance. Compared to that, 1 in 3 is 5 times easier to get. There's no point worrying about it. Might as well test my luck again.
じゃあこれ。
This one.
赤い箱。
Red box?
じゃあこの箱をエンジェちゃんの前に置こう。
Let's set this box in
こ
front
の
of you.
中にメダルが入ってるといいね。
Wouldn't it be great if there was a medal
じゃあま
inside?
ずは小手調べ。
Alright, let's start with a
そ
little
の
warm-up.
赤い箱の中にメダルが入っている確率は
What's the
何分の
probability
1
of the
かな
medal being inside the red box?
3分の1。
1 in 3.
正解よ。
Correct.
これが本当に純粋な運試しだとしたならね。
This really is a simple test of luck.
いいのか、エンジェ。
Ooh, it could be the exact percent. It could be the exact percent, which I think is 50. Anyway, let's see. Sure.
本当にその赤い箱でいいのか？
Is it 50 or is it 66? I can't remember. Pretty sure it's 50. Or no. Yeah, anyway. Are you sure, NJ? Are you absolutely sure you're happy with the red
こ
box?
の
Maybe.
後エンジェにそれを開けてもらうわけだけど
After all, we're gonna make you open it in a
も
second.
しびっくり箱だったらす
If
っ
it's a
ご
trap,
い
it's
びっ
really
くりす
scary.
るぜ
Yeah, it might be scary. Jessica Onei-chan grinned threateningly.
いいのかい？本当にその赤い
You
箱
happy
で
with the red box?
メダルは
Might be.
青い箱か緑の箱に入ってる
It
かも
might
し
be
れ
in
な
the
い
blue
よ。
box or the green box. I don't know
チェ
that.
ンジするかい？
You want to change your mind? It's not fair for them to scare me like that. Not after I've already made my choice. And I know all the boxes have the same probability of having a medal in them. Whether I try to open the red box or change my mind and try the blue box or the green boxes, the probability will be the same. Just stick with your first choice is my motto. I'll stay with this red box. I won't change my mind.
この赤い箱でいいの。
I'm happy with the red box.
私はこれにかける。
I'll bet on it.
いい度胸だぜ
That's the spirit.
でも本当にびっくり箱は怖
But
いん
seriously,
だ
the traps are
ぜ
terrifying.
どれくらい怖いか一個
Let me
見
just show
せ
you
てやるか
how scary they
ら
are.
な
Jessica Onei-chan laughed creepily and then opened the green box. And then, bang! Pumpkin monsters and ribbon came flying out of the box. It scared me a little. That's a lie. It scared me a lot. In fact, if that came flying out of the box I opened right in my face, I might have fallen to my knees and started crying.
エンジェ本当にその赤い箱でいいのかい
Are you sure you want the red box?
すっごく怖いのが飛び出すかもしれねえぜ
Something really scary might come flying out, okay?
やっぱり青い箱にチェンジした方がいいん
Are
じゃ
you
ね
sure
え
you
の
don't want to switch to the blue box? I do.
怖くない。
I'm
エ
not
ンジェ
scared.
は赤い箱でい
I'll
い
stick
の。
with
い
the
い
red
の。
box.
脅しすぎだよ、ジェシカちゃん。
You're going a bit overboard, Jessica-chan.
これで箱は一つ減って
So one
二
of
つ
the
になっちゃ
boxes
っ
is
た
now
ね。
gone. There's only two left.
さあ、ここからが問題だよ、エンジ
And
ちゃん。
this is where the puzzle starts, NJ-chan.
どっちの箱にメダルが入っているか？
You mean which box is the medal in?
エンジェちゃんの前にさっきから置きっぱなしにしているその赤い箱と僕の
We
前
have
に
the
あ
red
る
box.
この
It's
青
been
い
sitting in
箱。
front of you the whole time. And the blue box here in front of me.
どっちを開けた方がメダルの入ってる可能性が高いかな。
Which has a higher probability of having a medal inside it? And the answer is the blue box.
それが問題さ。
That's a puzzle. They're blue. And the answer is because when we're making our decision, we have a greater odd of picking the red box, the new box. As our choice in the first one was based on a 1 in 3 chance. Saving as always, because I'm not crazy. So, blah 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 blah. You want to switch? Blue box has a higher probability. Get out of here.
あ、
The blue box?
青い箱の方がいい。
The odds are better for the blue box?
へえ、それはどうしてかな。
And why is that?
な
I just sort of...
エンジェちゃんがアーモンドを当てたあの15切れのケーキを思い出してみて。
Think back to the 15 slice cake you found the almond in?
アーモンドが一つだけなら当たりの確率は
If there's
15
only
分
one
の
almond,
1
the
なわ
odds
け
of
よね。
winning are 1 in 15, right?
うん。
Yep,
15分の1。
1 in 15. I figured that out when the cake first appeared. I thought that waiting for a lot of people to get the wrong ones would make my chances of winning higher. In the end, no matter when I ate my slice, the odds were still 1 in 15.
でもね、エンジェちゃん。
Still, NJ.
実はあのケーキ、
What if the servers
使
were
用
also
人
having
の人
cake?
たちも食べてて、
And it
本当
started
は
with
最
20
初
slices.
20切れあったケーキ。
あれ？
今日はお祭りだもの。
It's a party,
使
right?
用人の人だけケーキなしなんて意地悪でしょ？
Not fair. The servants don't get cake,
だ
don't
か
you
ら
think?
本当は
It's a,
20切れのケーキ
it's
があった
originally
の。
20 slices.
それ
Okay.
を使用人分5切れ抜いて15切れにして飾り直して、そこからエンジェちゃんに選んでもらった。
It's a,
としたら、
if it's originally a 20 slice cake and the servants take out 5 slices, then redecorate it as a 15 slice cake and let you
エ
choose
ン
the
ジェちゃ
slice.
んが選んだケーキの当たる確率は本当はいくつだったと
What
思
would
う？
your chances of choosing the right slice be? If there were really 20 slices, then the chances would be 1 in 20. The servants already checked them all. It's 15, 1 in 15.
でも
How for the
使用
servants?
人の人たちはアーモンドの入ってない場所を知ってたから、 そこを避けてケーキを5切れも
However,
ら
the
ったの
servants know
よ。
where the almond is, so they chose 5 slices that had no almonds.
つまり彼らはハズレを5個
In
間
other
引
words,
いてくれ
they
てい
removed
たと
5
いうわけ。
losing slices. Yep.
だから確率は20分の1じゃなく15分の1
Your
にな
chance of
る。
winning is 1 in 15 and not 1 in 20.
ハズレを間引いたんだからその分当たる確率が上がるのは当然だよ。
That you got the losing slices, so the odds would obviously go up.
同じことが今ジェシカちゃんによ
Yeah,
って
Jessica
行わ
did
れ
the
たんだ
same
よ。
thing.
ジェシカちゃんは君が選ばなかった2箱の中から
You removed
ハ
one
ズ
of
レ
the
を
2
1つ
boxes
間引
you
いたんだ。
didn't choose.
ということは君が選ばなかった方の当たる確率もその分上がったということになるんじゃないかな。
In other words, the odds that the remaining box you didn't choose, where the winner went up, didn't it?
わかったような
Get it, but
わ
not
からな
really.
いような。
This is why we have computers, so we can run this simulation and you can visually see that it's statistically... It's consistent that it's a statistically significant higher chance of getting it right. If you remove a losing box, it's only natural that your chances of getting the right one go up. It's the Monty Hall problem, right? Yep. And just now, Jessica Onechan removed a losing box from the pair of boxes I didn't choose. You always swap for all Monty Hall problems. Doesn't make sense that my odds of winning with these doesn't it make sense that my odds of winning with those boxes went up? Yep.
よくわかんなくなってきちゃった。
I'm getting confused.
いやエンジェちゃんはすごいよ。
Actually, you're incredible, NJ, because you picked the change. Most people don't do that.
6歳で確率論の事後確率を理解しようとしたんだからね。
Even though you're only 6, you're trying to understand posterior probability, a concept in probability theory. Yep.
確率は面白いよ。
Probability really is interesting.
高校や
It's
大
fun,
学に
isn't
入った
it?
らきっと好きになると思うから
I'm sure you'll like it when you get into high school and college. Oh
い
yeah,
っ
it's
ぱい
lots of
勉
fun.
強を楽しんでね。
Go ahead and enjoy studying it all you can. My little head was already filled to the brim. I think no. Okay. 1050. It's 2/3, 1 to 1/3, right? Because you have 0 thirds for the third. Yeah. Why would I? Yeah. Give a higher. It's 2/3 chance to win if you do swap. Just slightly better odds. My head was filled to the brim. Bewildered, I had to beg Aunt Ava for an explanation. Ava wore a bitter smile too. I'll bet she doesn't really get it herself. As we felt the sense of connection through this failure, we happily grasped the medals we wrangled out of them. Yeah, because I said 50%. I'm like, no. It's half the chance.
エンジェちゃん、
Ah, whatever. NJ-chan.
ちょっとこっちへ来て。
Come over here for a second. Sure thing. I'll like have a choice.
ん？なに？ジョージお兄ちゃん。
What is it, George Oni-chan? Or George Oni-chan and Jessica Oni-chan were calling to me from the window. Aunt Ava was talking with Mom and the others since it looked like they'd be a while. I went over to George Oni-chan and Jessica.
なに？
What?
もうすぐクイズ大会もおしまいだな。
Looks like the quiz tournament's almost over. I think this works best I think it works best for an explanation if you use like a possibility tree rather than trying to explain it like that. Although it sort of works. It sort of works. I think a probability tree perhaps will visually explain it. It looks like the quiz tournament's almost over.
あとはバトラお兄ちゃんとベアトリーチェでおしまい。
There's only Baloney-chan and
なんだ
Beatrice
か
left.
さっきから眠い。
I'm starting to get sleepy. It's probably because the adult drink I swiped from Dad. I felt floaty ever since I drank that. The floaty feeling keeps getting stronger and stronger, and I've been feeling sleepy for a while now. I gave a huge
Memory.
yawn. Sleepy?
うん。ソファーがあったら寝ちゃうかも。
At a sofa, I'd probably fall asleep.
そっか。
I
じゃあ
see.
もうじきこのパーティーもおしまいだな。
And I guess it's almost time for this party to end. The party will end if I fall asleep? But I just wanted to take a nap where everyone else kept having fun.
僕たちのさっきの問題、
Is our
難
puzzle
しかった
now
かい
a hard one?
うん
Yeah. Sort of.
未だによくわかんない。
I still don't really
そ
get
れ
it.
に眠い。
Sleepy.
あれは事後確率って言ってね、
Called posterior
ある
probability.
特定の情報を知ることで、あるいは知らないことで
That's what we
確
call
率
it
が
when
変動することを言うんだよ。
the probability of something changes because we learn or fail to learn with some piece of information. Okay.
うん
Did George Oni-chan call me all the way over here to lecture me on math? For some reason, I feel even sleepier now.
もし
So,
10個のケーキの中にアーモンドが1つだったら、当たる確率は
stop using
10% だね。
probably true. So, right. So if we have one almond and 10 slices of cake, our chance of
でも
getting it are
それ
10.
が実は100個のケーキの中から適当に選んだうちの10個だと教えられたら、
What if we
どうなる
learn
と
those
思う？
10 pieces were chosen at random from 100 pieces?
10分の1どころか当たる確率は100分の1だと思うよ
You'd
な。
think the chance went from 1 in 10 to 1 in 100, right?
エンジェちゃんが選んだケーキは何も変
Nothing's
わら
changed
な
about
い。
your slice of cake.
エンジェちゃんが何かを知ることによって、あるいは知らないことによって、
Depending on whether or not you know or don't know a
エン
certain
ジェちゃん
fact,
のケーキの中に当たりが生まれるかどうかの確
the
率が
probability of
変
your
化したん
slice
だよ。
being a winner
不
changes.
思議な話だと思わないか
Does
い？
that sound strange?
その話
Sounds hard.
難しそうだから
I
も
don't want
う
to
や
think about it.
だ。
You're putting a 6-year-old to sleep, George. Come on.
エンジェ、いい
NJ,
から最後まで聞いて。
listen until the end. Jessica One-chan's voice grew a bit stern. As young as I was, I couldn't understand what this is supposed to mean to me.
僕が君に伝えたいのは
There's only
た
one
った
thing
一つなんだ。
I want to
だ
tell
から
you.
これだけは忘れないで。
Please don't forget it.
何
What?
これから未来、
In the
さまざ
future,
まな情報が君の手の中のケーキに干渉する。
various bits of information will affect the slice of cake in your
それらを
hands.
知ることで、君のケーキの中身はさまざまなものに変化するかも
The
しれない。
insides of your cake slice might
それは
change.
時に望むもの。
Sometimes they'll change into things
で
you
もお
want.
そらく、それらのほとんどは君の望まないもの
Most
に変
likely,
化するだろ
almost all the changes will be bad ones.
真実はいつだってエンジェの手の中にある。
Truth is always in your right there in your hands,
誰か
MJ.
の言葉や誰かが期待する真実を耳にすることで、その中身が変化するなんてバカらしいと思わないか？
Don't you think it's stupid to let it change around just because you hear other people talking? Like they think the truth should be one thing or another?
う。君の中の真実は最初から君の手の中にあるんだよ。
Truth inside of you has been in your hands since the beginning.
そしてその中身は実は君自身が決めて
The
いるんだ。
nature of that truth is something you decide for
君が
yourself.
何を聞き、
Change it yourself
何に
depending on what
耳
you
を覆
hear
うかで、
and what you refuse
君
to
自
listen
身
to.
が
意味がわからないと思うぜ。
You probably don't get what we're
でも
saying.
理解して。
You gotta
6歳
understand.
のエンジェにはわからなくても、12年を経ればきっとわか
Even
る
if
か
you
ら。
can't understand when you're 6 years old, I'm sure you will in 12 years.
うーん
With various serious expressions on their faces, they grasped my shoulders as they spoke. I don't know what they're trying to tell me.
君の手の中の真実は不変じゃないんだ。
The truth that lies in your hands is not
それ
unchangeable.
は君に対するさまざまな干渉で変
You'll
化
be
してしまう。
interfered with in many ways that'll make it change.
だからもし君がその手の中の真実を大事にしたいと願うなら、
If the truth in your hands is really that important to you,
その真実をエンジェが自分で
you
守るん
need
だ
to。protect it yourself.
それを
Don't forget
忘れるん
that.
じゃないぜ。
うーん
Alright then, and poor 6-year-old NJ is just like, what? What? What?
あとはお兄ちゃんとベアトリーチェの問題でおしまい。
Next is Oni-chan and Beatrice's puzzles and then I'm done.
そうか。
Really?
あれだけ大勢いたのに、もうおしまいなんだな。
Even though there were so many of us, it looks like it's finally over.
どうであったか？
How was it?
今夜のパーティーを楽しめたか？
Did you enjoy tonight's party?
楽しかっ
It was fun,
た。でもちょっともう眠いかも。
but I'm a bit sleepy.
そうね。
That's no
あ
surprise,
れだけはしゃいだもんね。
considering how much we've been running around. I rubbed my eyes. I must have gotten really excited. Whenever I get excited, I'm always tired afterwards. Right now, I'd rather have a sofa to lie on than the medals.
わらわもとっておきの問題を用意したが、
I've got
ど
a
うする？
special puzzle just for you. Are you sure you want it?
眠いようならばやめても良いのだぞ。
If you're tired, you can just stop now.
ここまで来たから頑張る。
I've come this far. I'll keep going. Keep going, NJ. Oni-chan and Oni-chan and Beato laughed at my yawn.
もうお開きの時間だな。
Looks like it's time to call it a day.
うん。エンジェよ。
NJ?
わらわの問題はまた今度にしよ
Let's leave my puzzle for later.
う。そのような寝ぼけ眼で解けるほど優しくはないのでな。
Too difficult to be solved by one with eyes as sleepy as
そう
that.
だ。
Oh no.
せっかくいっぱい頑張ったのに。お兄ちゃんたちのメダルも
Oni-chan's medal.
欲しい。
Oh! I'm just so sleepy. Missing 2 medals. NJ drifted over to a chair in the corner of the room and plopped down onto it. Then she closed her eyes and sat there like a doll. It didn't take long before the cute sound of her breathing in her sleep could be heard. And when she saw that NJ was finally asleep, Beato spoke softly.
みな、静かに。
Quiet, please,
エンジ
everyone.
が眠ったぞ。
NJ fell asleep. When she spoke, the peaceful clatter that filled the room fell silent. Everyone looked down into NJ's sleeping face. Each of them wore an affectionate gaze, as if they just watched a baby finally drift to sleep.
エンジちゃん、楽しんでくれたやろか。
Did NJ have a good time?
当然であろ
But
う
of
が、
course.
今はそこまでは感じぬかもしれぬ。
Healing may not be strong
しか
now.
しやがて、
One day.
今夜のパーティーのことを思い出し、
Just surely
それがど
remember
れほど
tonight's
楽
party
しかったかを
and
か
understand
み
how
しめ
fun
て
it
くれ
was.
るであろう。
そうだな。
You're right.
私たちもエンジェちゃんと遊べて楽しかったわ。
It's fun for us too, getting to play with NJ-chan. By this point, everyone was standing in a wide circle around NJ as she slept. Now that the guest of honor was asleep, this Halloween party had reached its conclusion.
さらばだ、我が孫よ。
So long, my granddaughter.
おじいちゃんは12年ぶりに遊べて嬉しかったぞ。
I was pleased to have this chance to play with you again after 12 years.
私のことを何も覚えていなくてもよい。
It matters not if you forget everything
傲
about me.
慢なる暴君と記憶してくれてもよい。
For me as an arrogant
だが
despot.
たまには
But every now and
目
then,
に入れても痛くないほどに可愛がっていたことも
try to remember
思い
remember
出し
just
て
how
おく
much
れ。
I adored you.
思い出しますとも、エンジェさん。あんたの人生は長い。
You have a long life ahead of you.
12年を経ても、まだまだ長い。
Even after 12 years, there's still so much for you to
その人
experience.
生が有意義なものになることを祈っ
I
てお
pray
り
you
ます。
find this life meaningful and worthwhile.
君が後宮家全員の最後の孫で娘だ。
You're the final grandchild and daughter of the Ashiramiya
私た
family.
ち全員が君の幸せを祈ってい
All of
る
us
よ。
pray for your happiness.
エンジェちゃん、
And
お
Shishan,
元気で。
stay well.
幸せは見つけるものでなく、作るものです。
Happiness isn't something you find, it's something you make.
思い出も実は同じなんですよ。
In fact, memories work the same way.
そうだな。年を重ねて思い出し、初めて意味を知るということもあるものだ。
Some things we only truly understand when we think back on them years later.
わしのこの愛嬌ある顔、たまには思い出してや。
Make sure you remember my pretty face every
わ
now
し
and
らにと
then.
ってあんたに思い出してもらうのが何よりの供養なんや。
Just having to remember us is the greatest memorial service we could ever have.
いやね
Oh, come on, come on.
死ぬわけじゃないでしょ。
It's not like we're dying.
猫箱の向こうというカーテンの向こうに行くだけじゃない。
We're just going to the inside of the cat box, to the other side of the curtain.
せやな。
That's
カ
right.
ーテンなんてもんやな
It's
い。
not even a curtain.
今と同じや。
It's just like
エ
we
ン
are
ジちゃ
now.
んはすやすや眠っとる。
NJ Chan's sleeping away.
わしら
there.
はこうしてすぐ近くにいて、それを見守っとる。
The rest of us are right by your side watching over her.
わしらは
We'll always
い
be
つ
with
だ
her.
ってそばにおるんやで。
All of them still wore warm smiles, but the sound of sniffling came from several places across the room. Stay strong, guys. I'm not speaking to them, I'm speaking to you. This party wasn't only for the girl who wasn't able to be here this day. It was also for all the people who weren't able to meet her here. We never had the chance to say goodbye.
エンジェ、力強く生きろよ。
Live life
俺
strongly.
たちの血が流れてるんだ。
Our blood flows through your
絶
veins.
対に。
That'll definitely bring you
その力はある
strength.
さ。
エヴァ姉さん、
Ava Nesa,
うちの娘のことを
take care of our
素
daughter.
直じゃない子だし、わがままで短気なところもある。
She's not honest with herself, and she'll often be selfish and
きっ
short-tempered.
と迷惑ばかりかけるだろうけれ
She
ど、
might be a pain all the time, but
私がきっと幸せにするわ。
I'm sure she finds happiness.
エンジェちゃんが望む限り。
As long as she wants it herself.
エンジェ様、私の顔を覚えていなくても構いません。
NJ-sama, it's okay if you forget my face.
でもせめて私の料理の味だけは忘れないでくださいませ。
Please, at least remember the taste of my cooking.
この熊沢のことも覚えていろとは申しません。
I won't ask you to remember old
で
Kumasawa.
もせめてサバの絞り汁ジュースの味だけは忘れないでくださいませ。
At least remember the taste of mackerel juice. Mackerel juice. Someone said, "Why didn't you feed her that?" And everyone laughed, Riley.
本当に可愛い寝顔ね。
Her face looks so cute sleeping there like that.
まさに名前の通り、天使の寝顔だわ。
She looks like an angel, just like her name.
天使じゃないよ、魔女だよ。
She's not an angel, she's a witch.
エンジェが最後の魔女、エンジェ・ベアトリーチェになる。
She's the final witch, NJ Beatrice.
その魔法は彼女を幸せにしてくれるかしら。
I wonder if that magic will bring her happiness.
白き魔女になるか、黒き魔女になるか。
Will she be a witch? White witch or a black witch?
それはエンジェが決めるよ。
It's for NJ to choose.
私はその両方を伝えた。
Showing her both sides.
きっと彼女を辛い人生が待ってる。
I'm sure a painful life lies
エ
ahead
ン
of
ジ
you.
ェちゃんはきっと
You'll probably
世界
believe
一
you're all
自分
alone
が
in
孤
this
独だ
world.
と信じると思う。でも私たちはあなたのすぐ後ろにいていつも応援してるからね。
But we'll always be there right behind you, cheering you on.
それを
Don't forget
忘
that.
れないでね。
エンジェ、
NJ.
忘れるんじゃないぜ。
Don't
自
forget
分も幸せ
yourself,
も運命も
happiness, faith.
作るのは自分なんだ。
These are all things you create for yourself.
自分だけが決められる。
Only you can choose them.
それは誰かに与えられるものでも、そして誰かに隠されて探すものでもない。
No one else can give you them, and no one else can hide them from you.
それを
Don't forget
忘れ
that.
るんじゃないぜ。
きっと伝わったと信じます。
I'm sure your message reached her.
だといいけど。
I hope so.
僕とお嬢様の物語は絶対にエンジェ様にそれを伝えています。
I'm sure the tale of the two of us will help NJ-sama understand.
Mm.
Yeah, sure.
ジョージ様も何かお言葉をかけられてはどうですか？
Don't you have anything to tell her, George-sama?
僕から伝えたいことはもう、あのびっくり箱の問題で全てだよ。
I already said all I wanted with that box puzzle.
あの難解な問題から何かを汲み取ってくれるでしょうか？
Will that puzzle teach her something?
わからない。
I don't
で
know.
も、彼女は聡明だからね。
But I do know she's wise.
何かを分かってくれるよ。
I'm sure she'll learn something from it.
エンジェ様、あなたが正しき未来へ導かれることをお祈りいたしております。
I pray you're guided along the right path as you move towards the future. One by one, they stepped forward and said words of farewell to NJ. Then finally, Battler and Beato walked forward.
エンジェ、少しはみんなのことを思い出してくれたか？
Were you able to remember everyone at least a little bit? Of course, NJ didn't answer in her sleep, but Battler continued.
確かに後宮家はちょいと変わった一族だ。
It's true, the Ashirmiyas are a strange
大金
family.
持ちだし、それをめぐっておかしな噂話も飛び交っただろ
We're super rich, and that's given rise to all sorts of
う。しか
rumors
し
and
そん
stories.
なのは
However,
すべて島の外の連中の 勝手な憶測だ。
It's all speculation made by people outside the island.
幼さゆえに優しき思い出を記憶に留められなかったそなたを誰も責めはせぬ。
No one will blame you for forgetting these kind of memories, young as you
し
were.
かしそれでも思い出してやれ。
Even so, you must remember.
忘れることが罪ではない。
It's not a sin to forget.
思い出さぬことが罪なのだ。
But to not remember again, well, that is a sin.
俺たち全員、エンジェをパーティーに呼べて。
We're happy to have you at this party. Right, everyone?
みんな。
Everyone nodded at Battler's words. Everyone knew about the merciless, lonely life that awaited her. It was no longer possible for them to heal those wounds. If there was one thing they could do, it was make her remember what a kind, fun family she once had. Remind her that both today and into the future, they would always care for her and watch over her.
言うまでもなく、
Goes
これ
without
は
saying,
幻想だ。
this is an illusion.
そなたは1986年10月4日のロッケン島には
You
たど
cannot
り
come
着
to
け
the Rockinjima on October 4th, 1986.
これはすべてゲームマスターのバトラが描いた
This party we shared
そ
was
な
an
たと
illusion
わらわたちが一夜
created
の
by
パ
the
ー
game
ティーを
master,
共にするという
Battler.
魔法。
でも、思い出せただろ。
You remembered, right?
みんながどれだけ優しくて、
You remembered the truth.
本当のことを思い出してくれただろ。
About how kind everyone was. How much of a blast we had at the family conferences, right? NJ breathed softly in her sleep. Who knows if those words truly reached her?
エヴァおばさん、
Ava?
エンジェを頼むぜ。
Take care of her.
私なんかに彼女の母親になる資格は本当にあるのかしら。
You really think I deserve to become her mother?
あるぜ。
I
おば
do.
さん自身があれほどの悲しみの中にあったのに。
Even though your own sadness was so unbearable,
エンジェの母になろう
you
と
tried so hard to be a mother for
あんな
NJ.
に頑張ってくれ。
でも私は結局
But in the end,
いいんだ。おばさん。
it's okay. NJ, listen carefully. Battler grasped NJ's hand and took Ava's hand, joining the two together.
悲しい運命により、二人が傷つけ合う未来があったことを俺たちは知ってる。
We know a tragic fate leads to a future where you two hurt each
それ
other.
はエンジェにとっても悲しいことだし、エヴァおばさんにとっても
It's a sad thing for NJ. And it's just as sad for Aunt
お
Ava.
前に心を開けと頼むのも酷な話だった。
It would have been cruel to ask you to open your heart to
そ
her.
してエヴァおばさんにそれでもなおエンジェのために自分の悲しみに耐えてほしいと頼むのも
Likewise, it would have been cruel to ask Aunt Ava to keep on overcoming her sadness after being rejected.
そなたもエヴァも
Neither of
ど
you.
ちらも悪くはない
That fault.
だからといってお前に何かを許せと
Even so, we have
俺
no
た
right
ち
to
には
tell
頼
you
めた
to
きり
forgive
も
her.
ない。だからせめて
But we won't.
許せとは言わない。ただ分かってやってくれ。
Try and understand.
時間がかかってもいい。どれだけ未来でもいい。
It doesn't matter how long it takes, how far into the future it
エヴァお
happens.
ばさんのこと分かってやってくれ。
Just try and understand Aunt
そ
Ava.
してたまには俺たちのことも
And every once in a while,
思い出してくれ。
remember it.
わらわのこともであるぞ。
I concur. And every once in a while, remember this merry, cheerful, attractive paragon of a woman and chant my name in praise 3 times a day. That was probably in the previous voice line, but I thought she had just said those 2 words and skipped it. The relative smiled bitterly and apparently disagreeing with some sort of that last bit. Ava softly stroked NJ's cheek and spoke one last time.
おばさんを許してくれなくてもいい。
It's okay if you don't forgive your aunt.
でもね、おばさんはあなたを憎んでなんかいないの。
True, I don't hate
せめ
you.
てそれだけは。
At least I understand that. Ava wiped her eyes and slowly stood up. Hideyoshi held her shoulder, and Ralph and Kirie gathered around her too.
Genji-san.
Genji-san?
Enjiを横になれるところに
Would you
運んでやっ
mind
てくれる
carrying
か
Enji to somewhere she can lie down?
かしこまりました。
As you
ゲ
wish.
ストハウスでよろしいですか？
Shall I take her to the guest house?
ゲストハウスに一人ぼっちでは気の毒が過ぎよう。
I feel a little too sad to leave her there all alone.
そうだな。
You're
客間
right.
のソファーにお願い
Could
で
you
きる
carry
か
her to a sofa, perhaps in the parlor?
もしも目が覚めて戻ってきたくなったら
That
いつ
way,
でも
she'll
そう
be
できるように。
she'll be able to come back if she wakes up and feels like joining in again. Genji gently lifted NJ up and carried her towards the parlor. Everyone continued watching over her as she left.
シャノン、カノンよ。
Shannon,
結
Shannon.
局エンジェは何枚のメダルを集めたのであるか。
In the end, how many medals did NJ gather?
17枚でございます。
He got 17 medals.
そうか。
I see, I
で
see.
は、これを枕元に置いてや
And
る
place
と
this
よ。
by her pillow.
はいかしこまりました。
As you wish. Genji carried NJ to the parlor and set her down on the sofa. Shannon quietly laid a warm blanket on top of her, and Cannon placed a message card by her pillow, along with that thing Kinzo handed them. The message card read as follows: "We'll all be with you, always." From the whole Ushirimiya family. And there by her pillow was the gift from Kinzo. A Beatrice doll. NJ, mumbling in her sleep, held it tightly against her cheek.
行こ
Let's go.
う。起こしてしまわないように。
We mustn't wake her.
姉さん。
Nesa. Yeah. Shannon thought she saw something glittering silver near NJ's eye. Servants left and closed the parlor door. As NJ slept, she was wrapped in a soft sound of rain. Surely she was reliving that fun evening once more in her dreams. And I think this is as good a time as any. In fact, it might be the perfect place to wrap things up for tonight.